Guess I should set up chat over here. Hello. Hi. Are we on? Hell yeah. All right. Let's get started. Gotta pull up chat. There we are. Okay. This way. Oh yeah, much better. Okay. And welcome to Cakes by You. Finishing getting set up. And then we're gonna make some little cakes. So I think today we're going to make a small Converse out of cake. It'll be really fun. And the first one, I'm gonna do it buttercream, I think. And then we'll see how long that takes. And maybe we'll do one out of fondant too, just to compare for funsies, or we might save that for another day. And we'll like hang on to the buttercream one and do a little compare and contrast. Like compare and contrast the process, but also the finished product. Like which one do we like better? Which one was more fun to make? Okay, let's do this here. Perfect. There we go. Okay, for starters, we have tiny cakes. So these were, I was testing some flavored recipes. So these are just little extras, and I was trying to decide what to do with them. So I'm glad I had them on hand, because now I can practice some, I don't know, some fun little techniques. Okay, so the plan is, maybe this one to be a little taller, like so. It's already looking vaguely shoe-shaped. So I'm gonna shape it slightly, cover it in buttercream. I think I'm gonna leave this solid, but build up the buttercream so it's a high top, and there will be like a small cavity here where it'll look like the shoe's hollow. Obviously it's not going to be, or there wouldn't be any cake, but that's what we're gonna do. Right now it's looking very much like a little Mario boot with the big round toe. Okay, so for starters, I'm gonna use some cutters and knives to like carve it into shape. And yeah, this will be the ankle part and this will be the toe part. But let's make a little base of frosting. I'm doing pink today. That's what I had on hand, so that's what we're going with. It's a little cold in here right now, but it always gets warmer when the lights heat up over time. That is one thing, when you're working with buttercream, you gotta work more quickly when the room is chilly. Like you wouldn't think it would affect it very much, but it does. especially when you're trying to smooth a cake. That's the real kicker. Let's see. I think my chat's delayed a little bit. Oh, sorry, I can't see the name. Hi, Joe. Happy birthday. Hang on, let me try to update my chat. Mine's being a little slow over here. One moment. I'm just going to refresh it really quick so that we're on the same page. Let's see. Okay. Just pulling up the chat. Okay, here we go. It's updated. Hey guys. Today, we're making a little Converse shoe. It's gonna be like about yay big. It's gonna be a buttercream one. We're gonna do a buttercream design first, and then depending on how long that takes, we're going to do maybe a fondant one. Maybe I'll hop back on tomorrow and do that one. But we're gonna see how long this takes first, so get started. These are just little cakes I baked in a, just like a cupcake tin, so they'd be small. I was testing out some different flavors and like coloring, like different natural food colorings to try them out. So this one I used turmeric, this one was tangerine juice powder, and this one was beet powder, because I was looking at different like orange and red food coloring options instead of like food coloring. So I had these left over and I'm deciding to make something out of them today. So we'll get started. So grab a bigger cutter here and let's see. I'm going to carve a curved shape here so that this one sits more flush up against that one. And then we'll start to shape our shoe. It's going to be a kind of cartoony look because I want to, after I finish the base of the colors, I want to add one of those black outlines to make it like a little cartoon shape. So it's not going to be a hyper realistic. We're going for a more cutesy, cartoony look. So that'll be fun. I have made some realistic looking cakes, but this one's going to be a little more cartoony. It's definitely not going to be like hyper realistic, like, is it cake? Like, you're not going to look at it and be like, is she cutting a real shoe? It'll just be like a little cutesy kind of cartoon looking Converse. I'm trying to think of what the best like realistic cake I've done. I did a little banana cake one time. I didn't film it, so I don't think it's out there anywhere, but that was fun, like painting the texture of the like banana skin, making all the little speckles. And there's so many talented like cake artists out there who have all these techniques down on how to make things hyper realistic. Like people do crazy stuff with molds now and gelatin. So there's a lot of stuff that I want to like try my hand at. There's so many different directions you can go with cake decorating. It's such a versatile medium. I feel like you can do so much with it. And like you could have a specialty. There's one thing you could be really good at, and then like another style of cake decorating, you're like, oh, I've never even dipped my toes into that medium before. So that's kind of my goal on this channel. The cake designs I pick, I'm just trying out new skills that I want to hone while I have my own creative freedom. So yeah. Oh, it's 1:30 for you? It is 3:30 over here right now, so we're like in the middle of the afternoon. But I do hope, I hope you stick around for a while, but I hope you're able to fall asleep soon also. That was me last night. I picked up my Switch because I wanted to check out the new Animal Crossing update, and then I ended up I stayed up way too late. It was kind of an accident, but eventually I just kind of leaned into it, and I wanted to see all the new features and stuff, so it was fun, but I should have gotten up earlier this morning. Here we go. So I'm gonna get a little bit of crumb coat on it and smooth it out because we're gonna build. I'm not super worried about the crumbs because it's gonna have so many layers that you won't really see them later, I think. Go. It's always a challenge decorating on camera because I'm like, oh no, they can't see what I'm doing if I do it all on this side. But I think sometimes that's just the reality of it. Especially with like when you're piping, trying to get where you're at a comfortable angle piping something, especially like a border, something where you need to have continuous motion to sort of make the flow look right. That's always tricky to get the camera in just the right position. Like it's like where you can see what's happening, but I can also like have my wrists at the right angle to keep things going. Get out of here, knife. I don't need you right now. There we go. So now that I've filled in the gaps between the little layers, I'm gonna go back and just trim a tiny bit here and there to round out some of these angled edges. And then we'll start the actual decorating part. We'll be moving right along. I think the most exciting part is gonna be like the piping details. That would be a great idea, actually, like doing donations. I'm hoping eventually I could get like polls going where like if I have an active enough community, I'd like to do polls, like come up with several ideas for cakes and then, you know, put it out there, be like, what do y'all actually want to see? Like what's the next cake theme you'd want to see? Like as far as themes go or techniques, I feel like themes in particular, like try to figure out, you know, what are people interested in, especially if it's a cake, you know, themed after a show or a video game or something like that. Like currently, I want to make, I know I was just talking about Animal Crossing, but I started on stream last night, I started a couple little Animal Crossing figurines out of fondant, and they're really fun, so stuff like that. But yeah, it'd be nice to get a better idea of things people want to see, and it'd be helpful for me because then I won't constantly be like, you know, struggling for ideas. You know, crowdsourcing ideas would be good. And just getting to know like the community better. Because I would like a lot of this is just for fun, but I also would like to foster a cake decorating community where people can, you know, give each other pointers and feedback and stuff, like other decorators in the chat if they have questions about something they're working on. Oh Oh, cool. Thanks so much for subscribing. Cool. I also love video game stuff. Yes, I'm originally from America. I'm living in South Korea right now, though. What kind of video games are you into right now? Have you played any new ones, or are there like older ones that you've been trying out? I just got into Stardew Valley for the first time. I had a bunch of friends who said that they would recommend it to me because they knew some of the other like cutesy, I don't know, crafting games that I like. And it's cute. I haven't gotten like super efficient with all the farming and stuff, but it's fun. I've got a lot of animals. Got a bunch of pigs. They're always digging up truffles and things. I like a lot of Nintendo games. That's kind of more my speed. I'm not really great at like first-person shooters or anything like that. I like a good storyline. Oh, Expedition 33 was really good. I don't know if any of y'all played that one. I think it won Game of the Year also. It was cool. I haven't done like a turn-based game in a while. It made me think of like Final Fantasy and stuff. And Paper Mario. I feel like Paper Mario was probably the first. Yeah, probably the first game with a battle. You know, like the battle setup like that. Okay. I think I'm gonna add some divots here because this is gonna be wider once I start piping the toe, or I mean the tongue of the cake. I'm gonna like, that'll be built up, so I need to shape it down a little bit so it doesn't look too bulky. And just add some more curves so the shoe doesn't look too blocky overall. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I really like Stardew. The music is really cute. And so I didn't realize, like I knew it was a big part of it, like befriending all the villagers and stuff, but I was so focused on the farming and trying to earn all the money that like the first time the flower dance came around, I hadn't made really friendship with any of the like the characters, and so like nobody wanted to dance with me at the flower dance. I was like, oh man, I gotta go work on my like relationships with all the townsfolk. So I did better the next year, and I did get somebody to dance with me at the flower dance. So that was exciting. Oh, nice. My sister and her roommate were really into Red Dead, and I had been watching them play a lot. Very fun, very cinematic watch. I want to go back and like play it myself one time. All the characters are so cool. I like all the songs that Arthur sings when he gets like drunk around the campsite. I'm like, what is he? Who is he talking about? There you go. Crumbs. Okay. Narrow out the heel, and then we'll move on to frosting and decorating. I just want to make sure I get the base shape down before I start adding stuff on. Oh, nice. I don't know if I have anybody to max hearts yet, actually. Any of the characters in Stardew Valley. I like Emily a lot, the one with the blue hair. She's sweet. I finally got Shane to warm up to me where he's not just like, I don't want to talk to you every single time. I was like, what am I gonna do? How do I get this guy to like I don't know, have a conversation at least. I'm still looking for Linus's berry basket. I feel like that was one of the very first like quests I got. I still haven't found it. I've been keeping an eye out. I got really sucked into the there's that little arcade game inside of the saloon. I keep wanting to say the Salty Spittoon, but that's not it. The Spirit Saloon. There's like the Journey of the Prairie King. And I was trying to beat it because I was like, I bet I'll get like a really cool item if I beat it all the way. It took me a while. I got really into it. And I did beat it, and I won't spoil it in case someone else hasn't beat it and they want to know what you get, but it's pretty cool, I guess. I thought it was going to be something like a little more useful, but it is a cool prize that you get. Okay, so I'm going to cover the whole thing in pink frosting and smooth it out. And then we'll like make a little indentions for the tongue, build up the part around the ankle so it looks, you know, like a high top, sort of. And then we'll add like the aglets and laces and things. So it'll be fun, it'll be cute and silly. I've done a couple Air Jordan cakes that were more like life size. That's one earlier when you asked if I did realistic cakes. Those were pretty good. It still wasn't gonna like fool you. Like if you saw it, you would still know it's a cake. It wasn't that hyper realistic. Like some people get really crazy, but I did like the stitching and I put like a finish on it so it looked like a pleather or sort of like shoe finish, you know. It was fondant, not buttercream though. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll have to like, I have a Discord. I'm not like super active on it, but I've been trying to get into some more PC gaming, so maybe I can link that somewhere like on the community page or something. That would be really cool. Yeah, I tried the other one, the little Junimo cart game. That one's also tricky. The timing is rough. And also it took me forever to get used to the fact that it was hard to tell where the cart track like dropped off entirely. I don't know, I was having trouble with that one too. But I am gonna go back and try to finish that one. Go. I'm also really curious, and like you don't have to tell me because I've been avoiding looking it up. Like one night, like, you know, you go to sleep and then there's this like there was a sound outside your house, and then that weird like alien tank showed up, and then later it had like a crack, like something came out of it. I still don't know what that's about. I'm trying to figure that out in Stardew. Like what happened? At first I thought it was because around the same time I think the guy appeared, or I had unlocked the sewers and the guy was down there. I was like, is that what the guy that was supposed to have come out of the little alien looking tube? But I don't think that was it. I feel like they would have indicated more that that was it, like in the storyline, so we'll see. Okay, generally getting this smoothed out. I'm gonna swap to another little smoothing tool momentarily. Like people always use acetate to smooth rounded cakes. That's always a good tool. I don't have any on hand right now, so I'm gonna use the little blue guy. Oh, cool. For the Star Wars collection, is it games or figurines, minifigs, or something like that? I saw a really cool shop recently that was all for Warhammer minifigs. I haven't done any minifigs, but I do like watching videos of people paint them sometime. And the shop was really satisfying because all of their walls had the little pigments and they were like color coded, all lined up on the wall. Really satisfying. Speaking of ASMR. Yeah. Oh, neat. Okay, cool. I was like wondering if I had just missed something, like I didn't put 2 and 2 together with the capsule. I was like, I feel like I'm missing part of the story somehow. And I know you could move it because I accidentally like went to pick it up and I was like, oh, it's like a movable item. But I was like, there's gotta be more to it. Oh, cool. Anything Star Wars. My brother-in-law is a big Star Wars fan. Like, he knows all the lore and everything. I would probably just say I'm a more casual fan, but man, he knows everything. I started the animated series, the Clone Wars, a little while ago. That one's pretty good. I need to go back and finish that and watch, there's another animated series that came out more recently that I wanted to check out too. But cut back on like some subscriptions and stuff, like streaming subscriptions. So I definitely, one thing I am planning on watching coming up, and I think it's this week, is I don't know if any of y'all watch anime, but season 2 of Frieren comes to Netflix, I think. I don't know if it's already out on Crunchyroll, but it's coming out soon, and I don't know like when the release dates in Japan were, but I know that over here it's gonna premiere soon. So that's really exciting. I don't know if you haven't watched that show, it's a good one. Here we go. We're just gonna keep smoothing for a little bit and then move on to the next part. Because I don't want this part to be too boring, but I do want it to look nice. And I know it gets boring if you're just doing the same thing over and over. Same thing with, I was doing some fondant figurines and I realized I was like, oh, when they're tiny like that, it doesn't really translate to a stream very well because you can't always see what I'm working on. So I might just keep those in the long form video format instead, because then I can edit the footage and make sure you actually see what I'm working on. It's kind of important, I guess. Oh, cool. Let's see. I'm gonna try to start streaming earlier. I got a late start today because I'm actually just dipping my toes into streaming and I was kind of tweaking the setup. Yesterday the audio was bad and I was having trouble getting the music to be part of the stream. I feel like some background music is always nice. So I'm gonna hopefully be streaming more regularly and like actually have like a schedule set up and figure out, you know, what days and times it works better. I think most of my content is geared towards like US time, so I'm gonna try to probably have it like evenings US time, but I'll be sure to post more when I get like a schedule hammered out. But we just got like the setup. This guy is a new addition, the little neon. I thought that was cute. So I've been like playing around with the setup and trying to, you know, work on the camera and lighting. Same thing with the long form videos. I feel like every video gets a little bit better as I figure things out. I'm hoping that every stream will get a little bit better, you know, as you work out work through the little technical difficulties. Okay, right now it is looking like a little Ugg boot or some kind of baby booty. this smoothed out. And then I think it's time to move on. It's never going to be perfect, and I don't want to spend too long on the base because we're about to cover it up with some other things. So I'm going to swap to a thinner tip and sort of like build up right here so it looks like the ankle is coming up a little bit. Let's see, maybe try not to jangle around my piping tips because they were really loud on mic. It's not exactly pleasant or relaxing. Okay, here we go. Oh, thanks. That would be really appreciated. Especially just getting started about in the doing the live stuff, so all the support would be appreciated. What themed cakes would y'all want to see? Like any particular video game cakes? I want to do more Zelda cakes eventually, but like I've already done one Zelda cake, so I feel like I should focus on some other stuff. Well, unless it's a totally different Zelda game, I feel like they're different enough that, you know, it wouldn't be too boring. I did like a Deku tree cake on the channel. That one was really fun. I made all the little icons for the items in your inventory and then decorated the Deku tree as though it was a Christmas tree. I definitely would like to do a Wind Waker cake one day. Oh cool, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm not always super good at multitasking, but this is pretty chill. Oh, I think I need a thicker one since it's flopping over. Let's swap. Boop. We've got the buttercream bowl off screen. Let's see, we'll do a round tip actually, and then I'll just kind of swipe away at it instead of trying to start with a flat thin tip. Here we go. And then I'll kind of build it up like you would, like if you were hand building a coil pot with ceramics, you just kind of go around and then smooth out the seams. So yeah, I think I'll build up the ankle and then we'll form the tongue and then we'll start adding like laces and things. That would be sick. I love Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, Breath of the Wild was definitely my favorite game until Tears of the Kingdom came out and I was like, well, I didn't think it could get better, but it did. Yeah, doing different creature features from the game would be cool. Like, yeah, the macaplans or bokoplins. That would be pretty sick. A gliaco would be really cool, but that would take some time and planning. I don't know if that would be a good one for stream. That'd probably be like a long form video. Yeah, so I built it up a little bit and then I'm just gonna smooth out these seams right here. And oh no. Then we'll go back and add the tongue. I'm thinking, just for sillies, I might like put somebody, like a little character coming up out of the shoe, like a cat or some kind of animal. Kind of how, like in the old Nintendo game, when you got that boot that you jumped around in Super Mario, so that you could like walk across the spiky parts. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll add like a little fondant figurine in here, just for funsies. For some of this, I'm thinking it would be helpful if I had like a little mini fridge down here, so like between stages I could chill the cake, but I'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, we'll just do it this way. But yeah, I'm hoping to, now that I have my setup figured out and getting set up each day will be a little easier, I want to get started earlier in the day so it's not quite so late. Like to just be getting started. Like if it runs a little late, that's one thing, but I don't want to start way too late. also use this one again. Do you know that Uggs apparently were originally designed for surfers? Like, they look like very winter wear, but evidently they were like for cold days when you got out of the water and you just wanted to put something on really fast. Which in theory sounds good, but imagining that fuzzy texture on like sandy feet really sends me to the moon. That would be terrible. Yeah, I do want to practice that skill more, like especially for larger cakes, learning how to build out a structure with like foil wire and dowels and things. That's something I've been meaning to practice just on my own time because I haven't done that before. I need to get like a little drill, so you know, I've seen like really big cakes, people will do it with PVC pipe. That's crazy. But like for smaller cakes, wooden dowels and like wooden plates would be good. I'll have to post a picture of it. I was working at this one bakery previously. This has to be like, I don't know, 5 years ago now. And somebody wanted this design where it was pretty cool. It was like a marble design. The base looked like concrete, and then coming off of the cake board, there were two Hulk fists and they were holding like the other cake. So what we had to do was like cake board and then dowel and dowel, and then I built the Hulk fists around the dowels, and so it looked like it was holding the rest of the cake. And then it was like a 2 or 3 tier cake, and each cake tier was like a different Avenger theme. So like one tier was Captain America themed, one was Iron Man, and then I remember Thor's hammer was on the top. I'm trying to remember what the other details were. It was pretty cool. I forget how Hawkeye was worked into it. I think there was like a bow and arrow or something. I can't remember how Hawkeye fit into the design, but that's definitely something I'd like to work more on, is armatures and like the more involved part. Oh, excuse me. More involved part of the sculpting for cakes. Okay, so now I'm gonna go around the middle and just kind of blend the seam together, and yeah, I'll do the details. I have the white buttercream and black buttercream already, so I can pipe like the toe of the shoe, the laces, and then the outline. I'm trying to decide for the logo, like the little star logo. I might hand paint that on with buttercream paints. I think that will be simpler, like pipe a white circle and then just paint the star on, because I don't have any blue buttercream mixed up. I guess I could do it black. I guess it doesn't really matter when it comes down to it. They do that with cakes quite often. Even the figurines, like even if you're not doing a full cake armature, a lot of figurines will have like dowels for support, especially to anchor them onto the cake. Like you'll make the figurine and then he'll be having, or it will have a dowel so that like you can, you know, stab it onto the cake and it's not gonna go anywhere. And also floral wire, also really handy, especially if you're having like an articulated figurine. Helpful if you have, you know, like if there's an arm sticking out, you want to have like a nice piece of wire supporting it. And it always makes traveling with the cake safer because it's better supported. Okay, smooth, smooth, smooth. Right. And I'm gonna smooth just these edge parts out, and then we'll do the tongue and start moving on to some of the fun decorative parts. All right. One thing at a time. There we go, that's better. And get the back smoothed out again because I kind of roughed it up a little bit. Okay, there we go. I hope you have a great day too if you're still there. And yeah, I'll see you in the next stream hopefully. And maybe we'll be doing some other video game themed stuff, so that would be really fun. But yeah, have a great night. Thanks for sticking around. And have a good week too. I guess we're all kicking off our week now. So hope you have a good Monday and a good rest of your week. Yeah, I've been there before, staying up a little too late. Here we go. Okay, now I guess we'll do the tongue next. Trying to think of like the order of operations. So I'll build up the tongue slightly and then make sort of the appearance that the like side flaps are coming over it before we add the toe cap. And then the smaller details will be fun. So I don't have a stream schedule figured out just yet. I'm gonna try to stream more regularly and start earlier in the evening. So today, like probably start, I think I got started like around midnight or something US time, but yeah, I'm gonna try to hammer out a stream schedule now that I'm like kind of getting rolling on the streaming part of things. So once I figure that out, I'll post it like in the little community page, or maybe do a poll and see like when streaming is best for people, because people live all over. So maybe I'll do like a poll and see what time zone time works best. I don't know. I'll also try to do like the VODs, have the videos on demand after the fact. Especially if I do like a series of characters or something, it'd be cool to have those posted after the fact so people can see what we were working on in the previous chat. Especially with fondant stuff, because sometimes that'll take probably longer than one session. I think that'll be another part of this challenge, is trying to pick designs specifically that I feel like I could start and finish in one streaming session. But if we get really ambitious projects, yeah, maybe it'll be like a series. Or like maybe I'll do specific themes on certain nights. That way people can show up when it's something that they're actually interested in. Good night. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, here's the tongue. And I think after we add like the outlines for everything, it's gonna look that much better. So, and normally this is something I would like, oh, okay, so I do this step and then chill it and then do this step, but we're just gonna do it all in one sitting and, you know, start to finish. And try not to be too precious about the details. Some other fun realistic cakes I've done that were really popular when I was baking in Virginia. People really liked realistic looking Chanel purses. In particular, it's like a black leather design that has like a diamond stitching and then a gold chain. I don't know like what collection that was from, but that was like a really popular design. People wanted to see that as a cake. So that was fun. Doing it in fondant and then using like stitching tools and stuff to make all the stitching look realistic. And then when it comes to the chain, you could hand build it, or they also have like molds, fondant molds that made, depending on like how you position the chain. If you could get away with using a mold, that's always really helpful because a big time saver. And then obviously painting it, like hand painting it gold with the like edible food luster dust and stuff. Okay, here we go. So now I'll add a little bit more of the tongue here and then put these side bits on, and then we can start doing the fun part. I feel like that's the part I'm most excited about, is piping out the aglets and the laces and the eyelets and stuff. And then we'll also add like white piping down here for like the sole, to make it look like the sole is down there also. Okay. So gonna blend this seam right here. I kind of carved away at it a little bit as I was smoothing it, but I'm just gonna build it back up a little bit and fix it. There we go. Oh, you can tell my frosting's getting a little cold. That's okay. Okay. I'm not worried about the edges so much because they're about to be covered up by the side flaps. I don't know what you call the little side flaps on shoes. You know what is fun? So I like Converse, especially since they started making like the more comfortable series and like the ones with a bit of a platform to them. A lot more comfortable than just like being flat on the concrete, basically. Sorry, I'm gonna refill my bag a little bit. But now like on the website you can do custom designs, which is kind of cool. And like down to like you can pick what each panel of fabric looks like. So you can pick what this side looks like, this side, and the stripe that goes up the back. I haven't done it, but it is kind of fun to just get on there and play with the customization. Yeah, right now it's giving like baby booty vibes. Okay, so this part will come over, especially down here. I'm gonna try to get it where you can see it. And then try not to put my hands all up in the way. We will see how that goes. Okay, just right here. Yeah, okay. So coming over and then at an angle, and then I'll fill in this part and then smooth it down so it looks like it's a separate panel almost, but I want to keep like this area. I want that to still look raised even if I blend this part. There we go. Alright, and I want to be sure also that there's enough space here that I can pipe the little eyelets and things. I feel like that's the usual challenge with any cake you're building, is just deciding what order to do things in. Especially if you're doing custom cakes, like if you're not doing the same design every week is different depending on what people want to order from you. Which I feel like is the most fun, challenging part. Like I appreciate that part of it because it doesn't get boring. It can be tricky, obviously, like new challenges every week, but there you go. It's also the exciting part of the job, I guess. Also, like if you have your own business, talking to the customers and helping them figure out what they want, that's always really fun. Especially for like kids' birthdays. I feel like kids' birthday cakes are usually the most fun. because it's like, okay, what characters are they into right now, or what wacky requests are they gonna have? Some of the kids show cakes that I was making sort of regularly, I was like, oh, I'm kind of sick of Cocomelon. I don't really like this big bald looking baby. Paw Patrol, did a lot of Paw Patrol cakes for a minute, especially there's a bakery I was working at in Maryland where we strictly did like standard buttercream cakes with 2D piped designs on top. Did a lot of Paw Patrol there. And then Bluey came around. I like Bluey. The animation style for Bluey is cute, and also I watched a little bit of that one with my niece, and then I ended up just kind of watching the whole show because the animation is really cute, and I feel like it is one of those shows that's geared towards like, I feel like they keep in mind that, you know, the kids' parents are probably also watching the show too sometimes, so there's like a little bit of something for everybody in that show. I think they're gonna make their final season though. I think after this upcoming season they're gonna be done with it. End of an era, I guess, but I think that's gonna be one of those like animated shows that really has staying power over time. That, like, you know, I don't know, I feel like it won't just end with this generation. I don't know. Because, like, every part of that show is really well thought out. The music is really nice, too. And it's not like other children's content where it's, like, sensory overload. It's, like, a little more thoughtful, I guess, in that way. But we can be done talking about Bluey now. It's a good one. Okay, so we're building up the sides here. And I'm gonna get probably one of my little baby silicone tipped tools over there to really go in for the details and shape it up nicely. I've never done a buttercream shoe, so I'm kind of pleased with how this is going. I know it's like rough around the edges still, but kind of feeling it. Kind of thinking this is gonna turn out kind of cute. It's definitely looking very boot-like still, so my prediction that it was going to look a little chunky and cartoony, I feel like, is right on the mark. To fix that, I guess I would have made like a slightly bigger cake and then carved away more of the cake part initially. So like starting with a thinner base, knowing that you're going to build up the buttercream. But these little tiny cakes I started with were so tiny already, I didn't want to carve away too much of the existing cake, or else it would have been strictly buttercream, pretty much. Not that this is for a customer or anything, so nobody's gonna be disappointed anyway. Okay. Okay, let's make some more decisive moves so we can move on to the next part. And also let me look at this without sticking my hair in it. Normally, always wear a ponytail in the kitchen. But like I said, this isn't for a customer, so I'm not worried about it. I'm just chilling. There we go. Okay, and then get this little nub up here. Buttercream sculptures, you basically have to be like a 3D printer. Just piping it out and smoothing it down. I haven't really done any 3D printing, but it looks cool. Unless you get the dreaded spaghettification. That's crazy when that happens. Here we go. It's also cool that people with 3D printing, like I don't know if you've seen it, but people can make their own filaments out of old plastic water bottles. like there's a setup you can build, or I'm sure there's one you can get pre-made that like basically unravels old plastic water bottles and turns them into different sets of filament. I think that's really cool. It's like back in the day when you had to like spin your own yarn. And then you turn it into something else. Okay, so this one, I need to like trim up this edge, so I think I'm gonna go in with like a sharp kind of cut and then smooth it down. And hopefully it won't, I'm gonna get where we can see a little bit better, hopefully. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this blunt edge and then like so, and smooth it. So it looks a little neater. And we'll do the same thing on the other side so it matches. I kind of like the puffy looking version on this side, but now that I've done it to one side, this one was a little too messy to kind of just leave it as it was. So I'm gonna make them match better. Okay. One decisive motion. And then I'm gonna second guess myself 8 times before I do it. Okay. Swoop. Swoop. Okay, that's better. And okay, cool. Other parts of cake decorating that are fun to struggle with is knowing when to quit. Not with this in particular, but certain designs you're like, oh, I could just keep adding and keep adding, and knowing when you're too much, like you're doing too much is kicking in. It's like, okay, gotta stop. This old coworker and I had a joke about that when we were doing our buttercream piping cakes. We used to say, okay, imagine there's like a little old lady standing over you and she's getting ready to like smack your hand when it's like, okay, it's too much, don't do more. Like, it's perfect how it is and don't overthink it, or like don't go back and redo something, or yeah, it's like if you have to imagine an outside force to kind of keep you in check. It was funny. I don't know. I don't remember why that started. Okay, I need to come in at a different angle here. That might have been, oh yeah, a brief interruption. Oh good, we're back, okay. Okay, there's like a little gap right here. I'm gonna fill it in with this little nub of Kirby colored buttercream. There we go. Alright. She's looking pretty cute. I like it. I maybe should have... Okay, I definitely should have put this on a slightly bigger board, but it's gonna be fine. She's gonna be like right up on the edge up here. But I think I can do it without it, you know, hanging over. Okay, smooth out the top some more. To like get it how I want it to look. Hello, D. Marie, or D. Mary. Hi, welcome to cake decorating. We're making a little Converse shoe, a little high top. And we're gonna try and make this one all out of buttercream. Just like a fun challenge. And let's see. Smooth this out a little more. And now that we have the base done, I'm going to swap some piping tips, and we'll add, let's see, like the stripe that comes up the back, we'll add a white cap for the toe, and then we'll add the rubber sole around the bottom. Like we'll pipe a nice consistent line, white line around the bottom, and I guess we'll work from the bottom up because that makes the most sense for this design. Let's see, where is my white frosting? Oh. There she is. And final touches we're gonna add. I don't know if you've seen like those cartoony cake designs where they add a black outline to that. I also have a bag of black frosting with the tiniest tip ever, so we can try adding that cute like cartoony outline to this cake once we get all the white details on. I think that'll look really fun. And I have, let's see, this is a Wilton #1 tip, and they don't make them much smaller. I think they have like a 00, and I'm pretty sure that's like the smallest possible round piping tip that I've ever seen. Okay, let's see. I have a little reference photo right here, so I'm just gonna pull it up again to be sure. I'm trying to decide how we're gonna do the stitching also. I could use the stitching tool if the font, or if the buttercream sets up enough. We'll cross that bridge in a little bit. Because I kind of would like to include some stitching. I feel like that's a fun detail. But then I don't know if it'll look too busy if we do the stitching and the black piping outline. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to swap to, let's see. I'm going to do the white around the bottom first, and then we'll build up the toe a little bit. That way we can blend the seam of the white around the bottom. Or maybe I'll do the toe first, and then the white goes all the way around. Maybe that's better. Okay. But first, I'm gonna make sure that the edge of my, or like the cake board is wiped off a little bit so I don't have any smudgies. I mean, there'll probably be more smudgies as I work on it a little bit, but I'm gonna get this little, some of it out of the way. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, toe first, and then we'll do the sole. For the sole, we'll use like one of these rectangle type tips, I don't know, to the YouTube thing. This is a 46. I also have a 47, which might be more appropriate for the height. But for the toe, I think I'm going to use a nice round tip to build up a little bit of that. I'm going to try not to rustle these tips around too much because I think that metallic sound comes in a little hot on the microphone, which is not very pleasant. Okay, round tip, and then we're going to round out the toe. Okay, so it should come up like right to the edge of where these little flaps are. So I'm going to try to do one smooth continuous motion across the top, and then just fill in the rest, and then we'll smooth it out. So let's see, I'm going to pipe towards myself, so hopefully you'll be able to see this part, but I know once I get on this side of the cake it'll be a little harder for you to see. Also, let me prop this up a little so I can get a better angle. There we go. Can you see? I think you can see. Okay, here we go. One smooth motion, hopefully. Of course, I got shaky hands now. Do I want a fatter tip? No, this one's probably fine. Oh no, I'm getting nervous. It's okay, I can always fix it after. Okay, not bad. I'll take it. And then I'll build up this side. And then we'll fill it in. And then I'll smooth it out. There we go. It's coming together now. I think if I did this again, I would probably pick more contrasting colors. That would be nice. Just so you can see a little bit better. But I had a big bowl of pink frosting on hand, so just went with the pink. I say a big bowl. It was a pretty regular size bowl, but it's the bowl I had. Okay. And I'm gonna have it come just slightly out more. Really build it up, because as I smooth it out, I will be taking away a little bit of the frosting just naturally through the smoothing process. And see, this is what I mean about sometimes when you're frosting your 3D printer. You just build it up and then smooth it out. Okay, coming down at the bottom a little. There we go. All right, and now we're gonna smooth all this lumpy mess out. I'll fill in a little bit right here because I can already see it's a little lacking in that area. That's something you have to do when you're doing like smoothing a full, like you're doing a round cake and smoothing the cake. It helps if you go ahead and put on as much buttercream as possible, and if you already see like where some gaps are before you start smoothing, just go ahead and fill them in, because ultimately it makes the process a lot smoother. It makes the cake smoother, but also makes the process easier. Because you don't want to, especially with like Swiss meringue buttercream, you want to work as quickly as possible with it while it's like room temperature. You don't want it to cool down too much, or else it just gets harder and harder to smooth as it's adjusting to the temperature of your cake layers. It's like the slightly warmer the frosting is, the easier it is to smooth it out. I could talk about cakes all day. It's like the one thing I get pretty excited about, and I feel like I have a lot of thoughts about all the time. Also, just like, I think most professions, if you like it a lot, it's fun to talk shop with other people. That's what I was saying earlier on stream. I was like, I'm hoping that as I get more followers, it'll be like a more like a sort of productive cake community, where I'm hoping, you know, people can ask other people in the chat, like, oh, I'm working on this, how would you do that? Or like on the community page, you're like, what tips do you have for marbled buttercream? I know there's other resources online already for that, but it'd be fun if, you know, we can foster a healthy cake decorating community where people like to help each other. And also, there's never like just one way to do a lot of this. Like, yeah, sometimes there's like a best method, but other things, it's just like you figure it out along the way, and people have different preferences. If you're interested in baking or decorating professionally, I mean, that's one of the best things you can do is work with, you know, at different bakeries that specialize in different things, or have different cake decorators, because I feel like I learned the most, like, you know, I'll try to study and practice on stuff myself, but just getting to work with other cake decorators and see how they operate and trade tips and tricks and things, it's really cool. I worked at one bakery slash cake shop that specialized totally in buttercream designs, and then another cake place I worked, we did, you know, any kind of custom cake you could imagine, fondant or buttercream. The one buttercream based bakery, it was more like, think like grocery store style cakes almost, like it's like a standard cake shape. We weren't doing carving or anything. It was, you know, we would do rosettes and we would do lots of piping and even like vintage piping designs, and then characters were really big. We would pipe 2D characters on tops of cakes and things like that. think I think if you offer those kinds of things regularly, you're supposed to get, you know, there's like copyright laws if you're like hyping Mickey Mouse onto a cake and you're offering that, but I think it depends on where you are and how you market it also. Like if you straight up say like Mickey Mouse cake, it's like, what are you doing? But also if it's, you know, you're like cartoon mouse cake. I don't really know what the logistics of that are. I don't think Disney's gonna come knocking on your door for a few princess themed cakes probably. Or Nintendo. I know Nintendo, like with the advent of like Let's Plays and streaming, like people would say Nintendo would try to pursue you, but I think they've given up on it because it's so prevalent now. And it's like, also if people are playing your games and other people are seeing them and then they want to play them, it's like, it's all good. It works out in your favor. Why are we talking about that again? I don't know. Okay, the toe looks nice and smooth. And I'm gonna fill in this little gap down here. I'm not gonna worry about smoothing it out because I'm about to cover it. So I'm just going to, oh, pardon me. I had like a tummy gurgle noise. I hope that wasn't super loud on the microphone. Who knows? Does anyone have any future cake designs they'd like to see? Like little stuff on stream or even long form videos. Most of what I have out right now is like longer videos that I've edited and things like that. I'm just now testing out streaming for the first time. This is pretty fun. I like watching stuff like this, so I was like, well, maybe I'll start trying to stream also. It's a little daunting because like sometimes you just feel like you're talking to the void and other times you're like, I don't know. I'm just here for cakes, really. Here to make cakes, and then if people are into that too, they're welcome to join in. Here we go. Like Bob Ross, that's kind of the vibe. Like he really seemed, at least at first, he seemed like he really enjoyed painting. And like anytime he talked to like his audience, he seemed genuinely like excited to share what he learned with people. And when he would talk about like the great response that they got from people all over, it's very touching. He'd be like, yeah, getting all the fan mail, like back in the day when you're just on PBS and local programming and stuff. It's kind of cool time. I feel like when I was younger and I would watch Bob Ross, I hadn't really grasped the fact that you were supposed to like buy the VHSs and then do them at home, like where you could stop and start it. Because in my head I was always like, how is anybody keeping up with him like at full speed? Like if it's on, this was before, you know, video on demand and like TiVo and DVR and stuff, and I was like, if it just pops up on PBS, how are you how are you supposed to paint along that quickly? Crazy. Caught on eventually. But I have seen people do that more recently, like as a, I don't know, a funny YouTube trend, just like press play on the video and then try to paint as quickly as he has, to, you know, varied and ridiculous results typically. Okay, so we smooth out the tongue, or the toe, not the tongue, we already did tongue business. We smoothed out the toe a little bit, and now I'm going to take a sort of rectangle shaped tip and pipe a consistent line around the bottom. But for that, I'm going to need my turntable. Put my little thingamabob away. Here we go. Oh, one moment, please. Got this, and my non-slip. So that goes under here. Makes it non-slip, and there's not a horrible scraping texture. I don't know, this desk and the table that I got for the kitchen, they have like a nice finish to it, though it's really easy to clean, but anytime there's something metal or even ceramic on it, the scraping sound really drives me crazy. It's very unpleasant. Okay, let's see if you can still see, or if this is too tall. No, I think you should be able to see okay. Oh yeah, perfect, okay. I think my thing is a little delayed on one of the screens. I'm looking into the past. Okay, so we're swapping our tip. We had a nice round tip, and then let's see, have a 48, 46, 47, and 48 are all the same type of tip, just a different width. I think 47 will be good. Or should I go smaller even? What do you think? Okay, so that's the 47, and this is the 46. Let's see. So that would be about that high. I guess it's like deciding, do we want a classic Converse look or do we want a platform look? I don't think it really matters. There's not really a wrong choice here. Let's see. I think I'll go with this one. That sounds good to me. If anybody has differing opinions, then let me know now, because we're about to do it. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go with, you know what? Yeah, we'll go with this one. Oh, sorry. That might have been loud. Hard to say. Okay, where's my, put this away. And put the new tip on. Yeah, so this is a Wilton 46. One side of it has little claw marks on it. This is also the tip you'll see people use on like a basket weave cake a lot. So I can show you what the other side, I'm gonna be using the smooth side, but I can show you what the like basket weave side looks like. It just has little texture to it, so it's like that. So it has like teeth like a star tip does, but I'm using the smooth side because we just want like a little smooth texture. But it's a cool tip. You can do a lot of cool effects with it. Okay. So I want to try to get as smooth a continuous line as possible. If it breaks or if I have to readjust my hand, I can smooth it out, but it just makes things easier if you get it right on the first go around. So I think I'm going to clean up this little unfinished edge first, and then I'll add this. Sorry for the fake out, but I didn't realize how messy that side looked. Knife, maybe? Let's see if I can get where we can both see it at the same time. This would also be a thing that would be easier if like you chilled between the steps, but since we're streaming, I'm just gonna kind of keep rolling from one step to the next. But ideally, with buttercream cakes, it does help if you can stop and chill between steps. So like for instance, I would have done the pink stuff, chilled it, then built this part up, and the tongue and these things, chilled it, and then added the white. But well, you know, we're just having a good time here. We're not super, we're not being super particular. We're going through the motions, you know. Okay. That's a little better. I can live with that. All right. Here we go. Next part. So I'll do the white line first, and then most Converse also has like a thin black line in the center of the white sole around it, or at least like the style that I like has that going on. So we will start on this side and go all the way around. As I move towards me, you might not be able to see everything, but I'm going to try to keep it where you can see what's going on. I was talking about that earlier. Sometimes with piping, it's hard to get the camera in the best angle where like you can see what I'm doing and I can also see what I'm doing. So It's a fun challenge. Okay. So I'm going to twist it up really well so there's a lot of tension, so I only have to apply a little bit of pressure to get a smooth application. So, and I'm going to stop talking for a second so that I don't wobble so much. That is one thing. Sometimes I hold my breath when I'm typing like really tiny details. I'm like, and I'll stop and I'm like, oh, okay, catch my breath and then go back in. It's silly, but it's a living. Okay. Drum roll, please. Oh, see, we'll smooth that out. That's okay. That's not bad. It's pretty smooth. And I'll shape up this little blunder here. Or maybe that just kind of dictates where the lace will go. That's a big part of cake decorating too. It's like, oh man, I made a little bump there. It's like, well, I guess I have to add flowers later anyway, so that's where the flower's gonna go. Strategic placement. Okay, and we're gonna go around the heel now. So let's see, I'll scoot over this way. Hi! Gregorio, welcome to some cake decorating. We're making a Converse sneaker right now. And we're gonna do it all in buttercream instead of doing, there we go, okay. And now I can do this hopefully in one smooth motion. We're gonna do this design entirely in buttercream, just for kicks, and see how it turns out. And just show, you know, the fun part of layering buttercream up instead of using fondant. I love fondant. Fondant's great to work with, but it's nice to do buttercream designs every once in a while too. Especially like vintage piping. I'm really glad that vintage piping is a thing again. Like all the heart cakes that you see with like layers and layers of like loopies and shell borders and ruffles and stuff. It's just really fun. I'm glad they're having a comeback. Okay, I gotta be quiet again so I don't mess this up. Okay. It really is a lot easier if I have it facing me, but I want you to see what's going on. Not bad. I lifted up off the board a little bit, which isn't great, but it's all right. Okay. Now I'll go back and just smooth where I broke up the line a little, but I'm not gonna touch it too much because I like that there's like a consistent width and I don't want to like smear it too much and change that. Plus there's going to be other stripes on top of it, so, and I'm going to outline everything in black, like a really thin black buttercream piping, like people do the cutesy little cartoon cakes. So that's also gonna go on top. And so I'm not overly concerned with the edge right now, because that's gonna like kind of sharpen the look of everything up, I think. Excuse me. All right. Smooth that out, and I also just want to blend the seam where it reached the toe. I'm gonna kind of blend that out as well as I pull forward. Okay, here we go. And that's looking pretty cool. I like how this is coming together. I haven't done a buttercream shoe before. I feel like all the shoe-like cakes that I've done have been strictly fondant cakes. I was talking about earlier, but I've done like a couple Air Jordans. I've done some high heel shoes. Those were also buttercream. Probably the most similar to this cake I've done. I did a roller skate cake one time, but that was also fondant, not buttercream. But it was pretty cute. It was like bright yellow. And then the cake itself was like all rainbow colors. It was neat. Somebody was getting it for a friend and their friend was really into roller skating. All right, so we've done that part. I'll look at my photo and decide what comes next logically. Let's see. I guess I'm definitely saving the black for last. That's going to be the last detail. But I'll start piping the eyelets and then do some laces. That's been kind of the part that I'm most looking forward to. So we'll do that. And before we do the laces, I need to decide if I'm going to do stitching details also. So we'll work on that. But for now, I'm going to smooth this little dent, and then we're going to make the eyelets up and down these panels of the shoe. Again, I can't remember what that part of the shoe is called. Not the tongue, but like the side panels that come in where the eyelets are placed. Okay, so smooth this out a little bit. And then there's like a little chunk right here I just wanted to smooth. I don't know if it shows up on camera, but it was bothering me. Okay. All right. And yeah, I think we're gonna move on to the next step. Don't wanna dilly-dally too much on one part because I want this to come together. So if anybody is like sticking around, I want you to get to see most of the process before you have to sign off. That's gonna be a bit of the challenge for live stream, is picking designs that I can hopefully do somewhat quickly. I would say like under I don't know, around 2 hours if I'm streaming. That would probably be the max. I don't know. Like, not expecting everybody to stick around that long, but like at least if you drop in, you can see most of the process in, I don't know, 20 minutes. Okay, how many eyelets do you want to place? I guess like 1, 2, 3. There'd be like 1 right on the crease. And then 1, 2, 3, so maybe 6 total. The picture I'm looking at has 7, but we might fudge it and just do our own thing. Okay, also, should we start at the bottom or the top? I think we'll start at the bottom, so I can get the spacing right. I'm actually gonna trace it out first, like a real smarty. Because if I hate the spacing, then I can just smooth it out and try again. So I'm just going to use this round tip and make some little indentions where I want to place them. Okay, so don't want this first one too close, I think, right here. Also, is this too big? Maybe I should do a smaller one? No, this is fine. One right here. You probably can't see it, but this is going to be real helpful to me to have this little stencil. One right there. It would show up better if the buttercream was chilled, but we are moving right along. No time for chilling. Okay, so one here, one right there. Maybe our little cartoony cake only has 5 eyelets. So I was saying that at the beginning of the chat, this is definitely obviously not going to be a hyper-realistic cake. It's very stylized. And since we're adding that cartoony outline, I do want it to look kind of like cutesy and cartoony in its overall design too. So one here, one there. Make sure that they're kind of even also. One here, there. Okay, I think we will have 6 total. Because, yeah, they come up right up against the edge up here. So there would be one right there. And right there, I think. Okay, cool. We'll do that. And if our buttercream sets up enough, I would like to go back and paint the little eyelets silver. I have silver buttercream paints in like a tiny paintbrush, so I think that would be a cute detail to really tie it all together. But we'll see if the buttercream sets up enough without, you know, running it to the refrigerator and then coming back. Okay, so I'll start with this side. start here. I'll kind of have it facing this way so you can hopefully see. I wonder if I should like dig them out a little bit so that I can actually pipe the lace as though it's kind of coming out from the buttercream instead of just like sitting on top layer after layer. That's probably a good idea. We will use a little fondant tool and then I'll just kind of scoop a little divot out. We'll see how this first one goes and then decide if we want to do that or if that's really obnoxious and not worth the time. I'm gonna say we're not gonna do that. I think that's more trouble than it's worth for this cutesy little design. Again, if the buttercream was chilled, you just like take the tip of a knife and carve it out and it would come out kind of all in one piece. But since it's soft, it's gonna be like a little more like you scoop it out and then smooth it, and that's just not the vibe for this stream, I think. There you go. Smooth that back out. Okay. Now I made a blob. Oh no. It's okay. There. Okay. Of course I erased one of my stencils, but that's fine. And I'm going to use a number 2 tip because I don't want this to be too thick, because I'm also, like I was just talking about, I'm going to layer the lace on top of it like as though it's coming out of the hole. So don't want it to be too bulky. I want this to be a little bit low profile. There we go. Little eyelet. And I'm holding it pretty close to the surface of the cake so it's coming out flat. It's not like a full round, like how you would drop. Like if you're typing a font, you don't want to have your tip pressed right up against the, right against the surface of the cake, or it makes your letters look kind of flat and not like fluffy enough. Okay, next eyelet. I guess I'll do one and then the other, that way that the spacing is consistent in case they shift as I start piping them. Because I feel like that'll be pretty important when we come to add the laces. If they're not lined up very well, that would be a bit of a headache later on. Okay, circle. Circle. Move back to this side. Again, I mentioned it earlier, but sometimes when I'm piping I have to hold my breath so I don't like shake. It can be weird. There we go. Yeah, this is definitely giving like a baby shoe. Like toddler shoe. Okay, that one was a little funky, but we're gonna keep rolling. And this one. Cute. Oh, I see. I should have scooted this one a little more that way, but that's okay. Once we get all the other details on, it probably won't be super noticeable. Circle. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Circle. Go. 3 more on this side and the last one on that side. Here, turn it that way so you can see a little better on this side maybe. Yeah, I think next time, more contrast in the colors of frosting that I'm using will look better, especially if you're streaming on mobile. You know, the screen can be kind of small, so tiny details are going to be hard to pick out. There we go. And last one. Okay, we did our little eyelets. They're a little goofy, but I can live with that. Let's see. Next we'll do, I guess we'll move on to the laces. No, I guess we should decide, am I going to do any stitching? Or maybe I'll just do that as part of the black outline. Decisions. I'll do a little test patch of the stitching and see if this tip that I have is like small enough for this scale. If it looks too clunky, we're just going to move on to the next step. Here we go. Okay, so I'm glad I didn't do any of the black yet because that would be annoying to swap. This is the only teensy-tiny size 1 tip I have. I need to order some more or go find some. The cake and baking supply shop near me, they have a lot of the larger tips and like star tips, but I couldn't find any little teeny, like itsy bitsy round tips. But they had stuff for like shell borders and rosettes. Okay, looking at this straight on, it's a little crooked. Oh man. I think I need to go back and raise this one up a little bit, or else it's gonna really bother me. Yeah, I'm gonna swipe it off and just pipe it again really quickly. Yeah, this was the right decision. Okay, swap this back and then move on. Next part. Snip, snap, snip, snap. Okay, moving up here. It's better. It's not perfect, but it's better. I like it though. This is a fun design that I decided to do just earlier today. Okay, we'll test out the stitching, see if we like it, and if not, we're gonna move on to the laces. Just because it's so small already, I don't want everything to look too busy if I do the stitching and the black outline, but if I do it really tiny and white, it could look, I think it could look okay and not super like overwhelming. Okay, I am gonna do this part on this side and I'll flip it around to you. It'll just be faster that way and probably turn out a little better. Okay, so stitching is gonna go just right down along the eyelets. It'll just be a fun little detail. If this was fondant, I would use my little fondant stitching tool. It's really cute. It's like a rotary tool, and it has 2 different sizes of stitches you can do. One of them is like a dotted line, and one's more like a dash, dash, dash kind of line. That is usually the one I use more often. I feel like I don't often use the dotted line for whatever reason. Oh, my hands are shaking a little bit today. I don't know if it's cold or the caffeine. I only had like 1 cup of coffee. So shaky. I think any shake is really noticeable when you're doing something tiny though. Okay. Coming around the bend, and then we're moving towards the finish line. And I'll spin it around, you can see this side. And we'll do some close-ups when we're done with the whole thing so you can see all the fun little doodads. There we go. Okay, I think the stitching is good. I'm glad we're gonna add it. I'm just gonna do 1 right here, 1 around the top, and then 2 back here. We're not gonna do the full amount of stitching, just enough to like add a little pizzazz to the design, but like we're not going crazy. Because the focus of this one, I want it to be like the cartoony look anyway. So I think this is a good detail to add. But we're not making this a hyper-realistic cake, so I'm not gonna be like, well, there's really 2 lines of stitching right here, actually. And there's more stitching up. No, we're not doing that. Okay, got a little lump, I think, in my tip. There we go. Yeah, if you use a tiny tip for piping, you definitely want to make sure that your powdered sugar is either fully sifted or fully dissolved, depending on what kind of recipe you're doing. Also, I don't know how many of you are actually like interested in cake decorating, so I don't know how helpful all these goofy tips are, but maybe if you're not into cake decorating, it would come in handy on trivia night or something. I don't know. I'm just peeping. I'm just yapping. Okay. Yeah, it's a good thing we're not doing a lot of stitching because my hands are like really shaky all of a sudden. It's not like I'm nervous or anything. It's not totally weird for me to just be talking to 17 strangers. That doesn't make me nervous at all. Okay, also, if anybody wants to chime in, I want to put like a little buttercream creature here, like a little cat or a rabbit or a bear, kind of poking out the top maybe. So if y'all have a preference, we need to pick an animal before we get to that point. Just for sillies, I think it would be cute. It could be a duck or a bird, but it's probably going to be pink, whatever it is, because that's the frosting I have right now. I have some white. If there's enough white, I think a little white bunny or a white bear would be cute. Just for funsies. That's another little skill I want to work on. There's like a lot of Korean style cakes that are strictly buttercream. There's this one profile called like Our Hours and another profile on Instagram called Juju Cakes, I think, and their buttercream cakes. There's like a lot of them, but their buttercream cakes are really cool because they will do little like frogs and teddy bears and mushrooms on top, totally out of the frosting. Same like process to how I did this cake, like you pipe it on and then you smooth it. Or if you use a more aerated whipped frosting, you can kind of like pipe it out all in one shape and like it comes out naturally smooth if it's the right type of frosting. So, but yeah, I think it'd be fun to create a little buttercream character coming out of the shoe. So we're definitely gonna do that as like a finishing touch. But yeah, we're getting close to done. We just gotta do these last little stripes of stitching. I'll do this one around the top, 2 up the back, and then we are going to do laces and add the black outline. I think the black outline is going to be the most fun part because it's going to make everything really pop, and I can add little like cartoony details. I remember the first time I saw like a cartoon style book bag, I was like, this is the coolest thing that has ever existed. It was like brightly colored and then it had that bold black outline, so it looked like a cartoon backpack, like a 2D item living in the 3D world. And I've seen more people do that since then, but I feel like that was the first concept I was exposed to like that. Oh, I've seen people do denim and like actual sneakers, like not cake sneakers, but real sneakers, where, you know, based on where you place the little outlines and stuff, it looks like you're wearing a kind of like comic book pair of pants. Like your pants came out of a graphic novel. That's really cool. I do like seeing like people painting on denim. I think that's really cool. I didn't realize that acrylic would stay so well on denim. I'm sure you have to like handle them with care after the fact, but like watching people paint like the back panel and painting really cool scenes or characters, I'm like, that's genius. Or even like if it's a pair of pants, like on the back pocket, like have a cool little accent. That's really neat. It's also a cool way to like upcycle. Like if you have an old boring pair of pants that you're like not into anymore and you wanna zhuzh them up a little. Okay, that's looking cute. We're gonna do, I did forget I had wanted to like build up the pink back here, but we're just gonna go in like maybe I'll make an indentation and then pipe this, or maybe we'll just do the stitching. Yeah, because it's not like super raised even on the shoe itself on my little reference photo. So we're just gonna make the indication that it is a panel back here. I should have done that probably before I piped the white little sneaker part at the bottom, but that's okay. Okay, gonna do 2 drop lines of the stitching back here, super quick. I know you can't see from this angle, but I feel like if I turn it towards you, I'm gonna end up kind of doing it at a funky angle. I need it like right in front of me really quick, and then we'll go to something that's easier for you to see from your viewpoint. Okay. Boop. The first pair of Converse I ever had, and I had them like forever. It was a green pair of high tops. I think I got them in the 6th grade, and I had those until they fell apart. I'm talking like, I was like in my 20s before I finally stopped wearing them. I guess my foot stopped growing after I turned like 13. I think that is about when I capped out height-wise also. I didn't do a lot of growing after middle school. But I think that's more typical for women anyway. You know, mature more quickly and then you're done. I feel like, at least my peers, I feel like there were still people moving into high school who had growth spurts, but it was probably mostly dudes at that point. Okay, stitching is done. It's not perfect, but I think it was fun. Okay, now we're gonna do the laces. I'm looking forward to this part. I need the smallest rectangle tip that I have. I thought, okay, so I have some of these ones. It's not the basket weave because this side of it doesn't have like the combs like a star tip would. But I don't see them here, and I'm not gonna rummage around for them because the tips are really loud when I kind of jingle them around, and it's kind of unpleasant. So I think we will just use the same tip that we did for here. And I'll just be sure to place it as best as I can so that the texture on the other side isn't visible. Obviously it was easy for this part since it's flat up against the shoe. This will be more of a challenge, but I think it'll be fine. It's a good width for it. I just wish it was one of the ones that was flat on both sides, but now that I think about it, I don't know if I have like a small one that's that type of tip. That would be another good one to order or to go find somewhere. I'm sad that Joann's closed. I don't know if anybody else can relate, but I don't live next to where Joann's were right now anyway, but just knowing that they were still out there, it was a comfort. That used to be my go-to place for all crafting stuff. Joann's and Michael, but I feel like Joann's had a lot more specific crafting supplies. Like they had a wider variety of cake things and so much fabric. Like I'm not a big seamstress, but like if you needed something, you knew you could find it at Joann. I always said Joann's. I guess it was just Joann singular, but I'm sad. Poor Joann. R.I.P. All right, we're gonna do some laces. And I'm just gonna look quickly to decide what order I should do them in. Okay, so the last one I should do is gonna be the crossover one because that is like positioned on top of the other ones. So let's see. I'll start here and do the crisscross ones moving upwards, and then the last one we place, since that one like comes over the top of the other ones, we'll do that. Okay, good plan. Good plan, team. Good talk. Okay, I do wish this was a little smaller, but we're gonna roll with it. Okay, so I'm gonna position it so it's like pretty much inserted into the circle I made, and hopefully it'll look like it's coming out of the circle. It's fine. It's a goofy cartoon shoe. I'm not too pressed about it. This is really just a fun design for me. Okay, deep breath, no shaky hands. Okay, get the shakies out. It's also like how you position your arms. So if I'm like hovering over the cake, of course I'm gonna be more shaky, but if you like prop your elbow on something, you only have like this range of motion, like from your wrist. But if you're doing it where you can move your elbow too, you have more range of motion, but like you might be a little more wobbly. Okay, like a chihuahua. Okay, let's go. Starting here. Go here first, and then move on to the next part. So shaky. On the screen. Okay. Just do it. Okay. You got one shot? Okay, one smooth, smooth, smooth. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And touchdown. Perfect. Oh, come off. There we go. And the tip of it I can smooth with my little silicone tip guys, because the release is going to be funny sometimes depending on the angle. But the key, like anytime you're doing like drop lines on the side of the cake, you want it to just be one smooth pool, kind of like with tattooing. You want to, you know, you want one smooth line. You don't want this to break in the middle of it. And that comes down to consistent pressure and then also your icing consistency, depending on what kind of recipe you're using. Okay, would it make more sense to do all of them this way and then all of them that way? Or alternate? Probably alternate. So like do one and then one and then one. How do I do it when I actually lace my shoes? I guess it'll alternate going back and forth. Or should this one always be on the bottom and this one always comes on top? What does this shoe look like? Over, over. Okay. So this one's always going to be the first one. So we'll go 1, 2, 1, 2 instead. My little stool is making a noise now. I'm like perched on the very edge of it trying to get a good angle. Hopefully it's not really loud in you guys' ears. Okay. I'm going to start this one slightly this way and then come straight across. So here we go. We only have to do this like 12 more times. Here we are, and just smooth across the top and touch it down. There we go. Looks pretty cool. It looks a little poofy, but that's how it's gonna be. You know what just occurred to me? Perhaps, correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe I should have done the black outline on this line before I do these. That would be the more, yeah, that makes more sense in the order of operations. But then I'm afraid the black's gonna smudge when I add the laces. I don't know. No, we'll go ahead and outline it, because trying to reach under them is gonna be a crime scene, I feel like. So we'll go ahead and add, if I want a black outline there, I need to add it now. And then lay the laces on top of that. Yeah, we're gonna do that. I'm glad I thought of that now until, you know, before we did all that. I kind of wanted the black to be the last thing I was doing, because there's less room for mess ups that way. Like if you wait to add the black, because that's gonna be the most smearable and smudgeable pigment on the cake. I had used this for the stitching, so like I said, this is my only teeny tiny tip. All right. Sound like Linda from Bob's Burgers all the time. And also sound like, I'm gonna trim the, sorry, that was loud. Trim the plastic tip really quick. There we go. Boop. Tiny scissors. Tiny scissors. Wait, I also have tiny tweezers. In case you care. I'm just goofing. But tiny utensils are the best. Also, like, over here in Korea, fruit is like a very popular dessert. People aren't into cake as much. The like fruit forks and stuff, they're all like tiny and petite and cute designs. Just anything small is gonna be more fun. Okay. There's a little bit of white frosting still in the very tip of the tip, so I'm gonna pipe that out. And there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly come down here, do this one black line, and then we'll go back to the laces. A brush oil. Going down is always going to be easier than like trying to pipe up. Same with the side of the cake. If you're piping directly on the side of the cake, working with gravity is always going to be better. So we're going to start from the top instead of going down there. On the one hand, it'd be nice if I could like put the tip angled it under and then draw it up, but I think ultimately it'll look smoother if I just start at the top. Probably look the smoothest if I thought to do this before I did the laces, but here we are now. Y'all should have told me. Why didn't you tell me? Just kidding. Okay. Get a nice tight grip, and you want to be sure there's no air bubbles in here. That will interrupt your nice solid line. Also, this will be a fun sneak peek about like what the cartoony look is going to look like. Oh yeah, I can tell I like it already. Okay, now I just need to drop this off right there. And then I'll nudge it down flat because it's kind of, I don't know if you can see it because it's on my side of the cake, but it got propped up on top of the lace. Here we go. And now same thing on the other side. I am going to be a little risky. I'm going to try going up with this one. Even though I just got finished saying it would be dumb to do that. I just want to see if that one will go better. Okay, here we go. Holding my breath. This one will be shaky. Okay. Actually, I think that one was better. I think really, and I've noticed this with other piping, moving with a confidence and moving quickly, you're gonna have more even, smooth results. Doing the little drop lines on the side of the cake, piping shell borders and stuff, if you just, it sounds crazy, but like as you develop the skill and you can do it more quickly, the quicker you can do it, the more consistent it's gonna look. For like beaded borders and stuff, if you stand there like kind of hesitating and stuttering between like piping strokes, you're gonna notice more inconsistencies. Okay, we did that part. Now I'm going to drop the rest of the laces in, and then we'll come back to the black outline for the final details. We might do a tiny bit of buttercream painting. I don't know though, because usually I'd have to put this in the refrigerator and let it chill for a couple hours, and I don't know if we're going to have, we don't have that kind of luxury because we're trying to get this all done in one go sort of thing. Okay, so I started from the bottom over here. So we started here and then we did that way. So I need to come this way. Let's smooth this out a little bit so it's not so clumpy when I add the second layer. Okay, just gonna kind of tap it down and smoothly.
Granger knows that if you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right, you need to understand what's wrong as soon as possible. So when
that's where the other lace is going to start, and I don't want it to be stacked so high. Okay. And then, okay. Again, one smooth, continuous motion is going to be best. It starts to get weird when you're piping on a 3D shape though, I will admit that. And I'm kind of concerned that once we hit the curve of the shoe, these are going to look a little mushed up against each other, which is part of the reason I would have liked. Oh no. Oh no. Nope, we're good. Okay, that's part of the reason I wanted a smaller one of these tips. But after I thought about it, I'm like, I don't even know if I have a smaller one than this. I'm pretty sure this is the smallest flat rectangle type thing I have. Rectangle, it's not exactly a rectangle. It's like a slot. Like the tip of it's, this one has a texture, but it's like the shape of a mailed slot basically on the very tip of this one. For anyone who's curious, it's Wilton 46. like I mentioned earlier, I don't know, you know, when people drop in on a live, I don't know how many people are here because they're like, oh, I love cake decorating, or they're just like, well, this would be fun to watch. So I'm like, this isn't a tutorial. Some people don't care about that, but some people might care about it. Okay, here we go. Next one. Going this way again. Okay. Okay, so this is getting a little funky since we're kind of piping across the upright part. Okay, let me see here. So this one's gonna come here and this one, yeah. This part's gonna get a little smushed looking, I fear. I'll at least give myself a good fighting chance by tapping this down a little bit. And taking some of the excess off because we're about to lay another layer there anyway. Okay. There we go. Alright. Moving right along. It's not rocket science, just keep on going. I think I was talking about this last night on stream, but it is a big part of, well, for me, some of the process of like art projects and cakes in particular. Like there comes a certain point in the process where I'm like, oh no, I hate this. I can't go on. And then you just sort of muscle through that and you're like, wait, no, it's coming back together. I love it. I think this is that moment. You see what I mean? The laces are going to be kind of squished together. That's okay. Now I know this for next time. Okay. Make sure I can see this side. Maybe you can see it too. Okay. Reaching, crossing. Crossing over, trying to get the angle right. And laying it down. Same thing again. Okay, where is the next one? Right here? Oh, right here, sorry. I guess I could have gone up a little higher. That's okay. Okay. Swoop. And tap that down a little bit. Oh, I bumped it. That's okay. I can clean it up after. There we go. Okay, moving on. Next one. Okay, here we go. So from this one to this one. I sometimes don't lace my high tops to the tippiest top. It's kind of like having the top buttons on your shirt. You just kind of feel it out. Also, I like how I said, let me put this black outline, and now the whole thing is basically covered up. I was like, oh, well, I should put the black outline before the laces. You can't even see it now. It's all laces. It's all laces. Okay, next one. She's looking a little chunky. That's okay. Okay, this would have been easier if I turned it this way, but then you would have missed out on all of it. Which is not fun. But you know what? I'm gonna do this last one for me. Facing this way. Okay. I say the last one, but we still have to do the one up front, I think. Yo, I should have done this from the beginning. Oh well. It's fine. You got to see it all happen, which is what really matters. What really matters is the friends we made along the way, am I right? Okay. You know, I kind of don't even want to do the one across the front. I know technically there would be one, but then I feel like that'll look too crowded. So I'm making an artistic executive decision. I'm leaving it off. We're just gonna keep going. It's a little sloppier. Definitely, if you're decorating at home, do it facing you. It would be so weird if you were just decorating at home and you're like, ha ha ha. Okay. Black outline time. I guess I'll put the drop down laces first. We're gonna have a brief interruption. Gotta swap the battery really quick. And then we'll move on. But while that's happening, I'm gonna get a little area tidied up. All right. Here we go. Put this aside. I'm not really using these anymore. Okay. And we still need this one. All right. And yeah, okay, so we need to do the last laces actually, like the ones that drop down here. And then we'll move on. Okay, we're back. And they should be the most fun to do, I think, because I want to do a little loop-de-loop. Although, since the other side of the piping tip is textured, I can't really do a full loop-de-loop because then you'll see the texture, and I don't really want that. Okay, doing these facing me. You'll just have to see after I'm done with this part, I think. Okay, I'll do one facing me and I'll do that one facing you. How's that? Something for everybody. Okay, so technically, since it's going in that way, it would come out the top. Does the shoe have to obey the laws of physics? No, it doesn't. But I'm gonna do it this way anyway. Alright, it's going great. Just keep squeezing, don't lose it. Okay, we brought this one all the way out to the edge of the board. It'd probably stand out a little better if the board was black, but guess what? We're gonna go back and outline it in the teeny tiny black squiggly line, and then you'll be able to see it better. Okay, this one's for you. Do one on your side now. Yeah. Okay, starting from the inside and flopping it over. Okay, I'm gonna stand up for a minute, I think. Just to get a good angle and not drape my frizzy hair into the buttercream. Okay, assume the position. Oh no, shaky hand strikes again. And down, 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 down. Drop it. I'm gonna do a special one for your side, okay? We're gonna make it loop into a little heart. I might regret this. Okay, so if it went down there and then it came back up on this side, that's how it would be. Making you a shoelace heart, okay? I appreciate you sticking around. Okay, which one's the flat side? I can't even see. Okay, so it would go. We're cheating. We're doing this in multiple pieces because I can't turn my wrist like that. So this one, curve it and connect it, and we'll smooth that out. And then this one, it's gonna it would do a loop-de-loop there and then come back around. But would it make more sense for me to do this part? No, we have to start here, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And curve it. I'm sorry, your heart's gonna be a little bit wonky, chat. Oh no. Oh no. Come around. Come around the bend. We might have to nudge it into place. It's the thought that counts. Okay, we're gonna nudge it into place. But it was supposed to be a heart. Okay. Little silicone tool, or maybe a plastic scraper. There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna nudge it slightly that way, like the tail. And then I'll show you up close maybe, where you can see it. Hehehe. Shoelace heart. Oh. Try not to stab your actual cake in the process. Maybe, why don't I? Smooth. Okay, I'm not gonna touch it anymore because I'm gonna mess it up. But it's a little hard, and I didn't realize now it's upside down as it's oriented to you, but whatever. Okay, next part. So, what do we talk about? Oh, I should have done the black line around the bottom first. I think that boat is sailed, so we're just gonna start doing the outlines. And then, after we do the black outlines, we're gonna put a little somebody in here. I don't know. Anybody have any ideas? No? Okay, well, I'll do probably a cat or a bunny rabbit, something, a little white teddy bear. We'll see. That'll be the last part that we add. Okay. Oops. Make sure nothing's hitting the microphone all crazy. Okay, next part. Let's drop in some outlines. So we're doing the sort of squiggly looking drawing design. So we want this to look like a cartoon cake. After doing these ones, I'm like, maybe I could even get away with doing, oh no, our shoelace, it broke. We gotta fix that. Honey, tell me. Just kidding. I'll pipe in a little section and then we'll just smooth it out. No biggie. Pretty forgiving, all things considered. Okay, and smoothie. It's a silicone tip tool. I really mostly use these for fondant sculpting, but also handy for this kind of thing. Especially when your buttercream has chilled a little bit. You can apply more pressure to get a smooth texture without like accidentally gouging out a little bit because it's really soft right now, obviously. Okay, we're gonna start with tiny tip, but I reserve the right to change to a slightly thicker tip if I don't like how it's looking. Yeah, so let's go. All right. Oh, we didn't do the logo. Ooh, we should do the logo. I'm all over the place. I keep saying like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm like, oh, wait, but what about that other thing? I feel like we have to do the star, like the little Chuck Taylor star, right? On the inside. Right? Yeah, we gotta do it. Okay, I guess since the cake is curving this way, this would be the inside. And this is a left. Yeah, this is like a left shoe, not a righty. This one just has it on the inside. Aren't they on the inside and the outside? Am I crazy? We'll just do one and see how it looks. Okay, round tip, and we're gonna pipe a little flat white circle. And like, if it doesn't take forever and we like how it looks, we can do another one on the other side. But how long has stream been going? Where are we? I'm like lost track of time. What time is it? It's been going a while. I don't know. Pretty sure there's supposed to be like a timer somewhere. Oh, hi. Okay. Circle, and then we'll do the star in black, I guess. Originally, I was gonna paint it in buttercream paint, like the edible art sweet sticks paint. But you really have to chill things, buttercream in particular, before you paint with those for best results. So we are going to just pipe it on in black, even though technically I think the logo is most often seen in like a navy blue color for Converse. If you're just joining us, that's what we're making. We're making like a little goofy cartoon Converse shoe, just for fun, just for kicks. Haha. Sorry, that was bad. If you have to leave, I understand. Okay, smooth out. So I piped a little circle. I'm gonna smooth that out now, like the lines. See, that was nice. One swipe and it started looking better. It's a little oblong. I'm gonna be honest. It's not a perfect circle. But I'm also gonna attribute that to the cartoony charm that I'm going for of the overall design. Okay. it again. First, get that little nubbing off of there and smooth it. Smooth the edge and then moving on. It could be a little more circular, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go back and fill in the side now that I'm looking at it straight on. Like, that's a little egregious, honestly. We can't do it like that. Okay, that's better already. It got a little close to the lace, but it's okay. I'm gonna fix it. And I'll spin it back around so you can see real quick. Okay, see, I pulled it out more, and then I'm just gonna smooth again. And then we'll move on to the cartoon part where we add the black outline. And I feel like that's gonna really, honestly, make or break it. It could look really cute, or it could make it look worse. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's gonna make it look really cute and kind of tie everything together at that point. Okay, so pink and white, we are done with you for right now. We'll have you on deck. Now we're gonna do black. This is the #1 tip. It's the tiniest tip that I have. I'm pretty sure there's a 00 or a 0 and a 00. I don't have those right now. I think I have them at one point. I also want to have a #2 on hand in case I want to swap. We used this for white frosting earlier, so I'm gonna swipe that out. Oh, that scraping noise is terrible. I'm so sorry. Okay, that's all. Yeah, so I'm gonna swipe this out and have it ready in case I want to use that one next. Since this one's really tiny. Okay, what should we do first? I guess we'll start with the laces because that's gonna be the hardest part. So we'll start there, and then it'll gradually get easier as we do. As we do the like the toe and then these parts here. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it where you can see it also. Do I want to put this down further so I can kind of, yeah, maybe I'll put this down now so that I can kind of get a better angle over it and I don't have to rotate it so much anymore. Okay, let's see. I do want it propped up slightly. So I'm going to place it on top of this so it's not directly on the table. One moment, please. And we'll put our turntable over here. Okay, let's go. Okay, is there any part that I need to smooth out before I get started? Because if these are really wobbly, it's going to be very obvious. When I try to do the black, it's going to be like boop, 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 instead of, you know what I mean. Okay. How about my paring knife? Because that's got a nice small tip that I can utilize for smoothing. Okay. Also, I'm gonna try my hardest not to totally go nonverbal on you. I mean, unless y'all want some quiet time. But I guess if it's just, I mean, there is music playing, right? I can't hear the music, but I think y'all can, hopefully. I guess it wouldn't be totally dead silent, so it wouldn't be that bad, but still. All right, moving on. I'm gonna tuck this away and get this positioned so I can apply even pressure across the whole thing. So let's go. We're just gonna work our way up like we did last time, I guess. Sounds good to me. Okay, here we go. I keep saying that, but I'm nervous. Okay, go. Just jump in. We can do it. I feel like the laces are gonna look a little too funky because they already look a little chaotic, and then adding the outline too, is that gonna be too much? I have a dilemma. Okay, we're just gonna do it. It's what we came here for, right? Cartoony style. I just wish I had maybe done less and spaced them out more, but that's okay. Let's go. We're gonna outline these laces, and then we're gonna outline the whole shoe, and it's gonna be really cute. Again, you want to do smooth, continuous motions so that you get like a solid line that doesn't have breaks or wobbles in it. Pretty sure it's the same for tattooing. You want to have a smooth, consistent pull. I've been watching a couple tattooing videos lately. That's why I keep thinking about it. This also feels like henna. They always have like the little piping cones for henna art. And then they make little tiny details. So cool. You can make parchment paper piping cones. Say that 5 times fast. You can make parchment paper piping cones also instead of using plastic. Especially for chocolate, that works really well. I haven't done it a lot with tips is the only thing. I haven't tried because the coupler is really handy because I'm often changing. Like you've seen me, if you've been here for a minute, you've seen me swap between a bunch of different tips. And I don't think you can use a coupler on a paper piping bag. So that would be the only downside. Otherwise, it's probably preferable. Okay, so you need to like touch down the tail of your piping so it doesn't curl up on you like that. And again, one smooth continuous motion. Here, let's move it where you can see it better. I think this part will show up pretty nicely for you guys because the contrast is better. I think next time I'll plan the design more accordingly. Like, ooh, if I had done this in like bright red shoe with the white, that would have been good. Okay, let's see, how's that? And we'll tilt it this way so you can see a little better, hopefully. I'm waiting for my display to catch up. Here we go. What if I raise it up some? Or just move closer, perhaps? No, I think down low is good. It's just the angle is a little off. Okay. Here we go. This part is sunken in, but hopefully you can see better when I move up some. So we'll just try to quickly get through this part. And get to a segment that you can see more clearly from your angle. Okay, I'll hold it up real quick so you can see what I'm working on. And then we'll move back. See, so we've got the little black outlines coming in. We're gonna drop those on the laces and I'll swap to a thicker tip and we'll outline the edge of the toe cap and we'll outline, you know, the star and the overall shoe. It's gonna be, I think it'll look pretty nice once we get to that part too. Let's hustle through this part, especially if it's not showing up super well for you guys. All right. And here we go, one more. Continues over here. And then do the next one that comes on top. Okay, I'm actually liking this. I was afraid it was gonna look too busy, but I think because the black tip is nice and thin, it's not gonna look too chaotic once it's all done. And maybe the distinction between the laces will even add to like the contrast. Because when they're all piled up together at the curve of the shoe, I was kind of like not loving how that looks. But I'm liking it again. Just like what I was talking about earlier. Sometimes you just gotta power through the parts of the process that you're not liking and then it comes back around and you're like, okay, back on track and it's looking better. Don't get discouraged and don't bail. Oh, that one was really good. Okay. This part. Oops. Okay. Cool. Sorry, I'm just as surprised as you guys are probably. I haven't really done this technique on this scale. I did one cartoon style cake, but it was fondant. So what that meant was you had to use, I have an extruder for fondant, and it like a pasta machine, you crank it and little tiny, well, depending on what tip you use on it, threads of fondant would come out, and then I laid those on by hand instead of piping them. I can't remember the name of the show. It was for a kid's birthday. I think it was Gabby's House. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Gabby's House. So it was like the characters on top, and then the cake itself had like the cartoon look where I had all of the features of the cake. Like I made fondant sprinkles, like large ones, so it was like cake and then fondant, and then like the sprinkles were made out of fondant because they were extra large, and then everything was outlined in black, and it looked pretty cool because it was also really bright poppy kind of primary colors, so that was fun. And you turn it this way because I was doing it from that angle so long I kind of lost track of where we were at. Okay, and come down here, come back up. I don't know what I just did, but like moved my shoulder weird, and now I have a little neck cramp action going on. Getting old, chat. Okay, let's move up here, and hopefully you can kind of get in on this part and see it better. Here we go. Tighten for fun. Nice. Okay, touch down to bottom. And I'm just gonna drop these in super quick so we can move on to a more visible area of the shoe for you. I hope everybody, well, I guess in the US, a lot of people had a 3-day weekend. I hope everybody who gets a day off tomorrow has a nice day. That'll be cool. And everybody else, I hope you have a good start to your week. Rolling on into Monday. It's already Monday over here, actually. Monday is almost over. Okay, so we did that one. You can see, like we're filling in really quick, doing that part. And then I am going to swap to a slightly thicker tip for the other features of the shoe. It'll be more visible, and I think that'll kind of contrast with the really thin parts of the laces. Yeah, I think that'll be a good added touch to do. Okay, so right here, you're coming in from this side, pulling across the front of the shoe, trying to move with a swiftness, but also not messing it up. Trying to just quickly move through this part because I feel like if you're on a mobile device, you might not be getting the best view. So we're gonna hurry this up and move on to a more visible area of the cake for sure. All right. Okay. Oh, I missed one. There's like one that's tucked away back here. I almost left it out. Here we go. So yeah, at the beginning of the chat, or at the beginning of this process, I was like, yeah, maybe we'll make a buttercream one and see how long that takes, and then if there's time, we'll make a fondant one and we'll compare. I was like, but if there's time, we'll see how long this takes first. And this has been taking a little bit. It's also like, if I just do this in total silence, probably get it done a lot faster, but maybe that wouldn't be as interesting. But let's see. I think it would still be neat to do a fondant version another day, and maybe I'll hang on to this for a couple of days, and then we'll like compare and contrast and see what we like about them. Also the process, I wanted to see like how much more, like which one took more time, which one had a better finished product, just for my future reference. Here we go. I'm gonna do the bottom one and I'll swap it to where you can see me do the top one. I just think the bottom one's gonna be a little wobbly if I do it at a weird angle. Okay. Angles are everything when you're piping. Okay, so now, let's see, can you see okay? We will do it from here because I can just reach over the top and still be able to see. One moment, I'm gonna reposition and get a better angle. Oops, sorry. Hope that wasn't crazy loud. Okay. It's like in ASMR videos where they have to edit stuff out when they bonk things. I guess you don't have the luxury of doing that if you're doing live ASMR though. Oh. And now, I think we're on the last part up here for the laces, so that's good. And then over here. Perfect. This last one up top. Of course, we have to outline the ones that we drop down along this side of the shoe. Okay, that looks pretty cool. Let me get you where you can see it a little better. It's coming together. It's kind of what I hoped it would look like. We'll do the top part maybe in the thicker line. Let's see. Man, that game was crazy. I caught part of it. The Jags were out before they even got started. Jacksonville. They did pretty good this season though. I'm proud of them. Yeah, I wonder, I feel like this year, you know, I don't know if you're into football, most of you, but I feel like this year is more exciting because it's not like the usual teams that have been in the playoffs, like in the running for the playoffs the last few years. It's not just like, well, the Chiefs are gonna win it again, I guess. It's like, I don't know, it seems like more exciting this year. Since like, and also, there's like more teams this year that are in the playoffs where it's like they've never, you know, won a Super Bowl. So it's like, now the Jags are out of it. I'm like, oh God, I gotta root for like an underdog, someone who hasn't won it for a while or something, I guess. Do y'all know who's doing? I forgot who's doing the Super Bowl. I remember hearing it earlier in the year, and now I've already forgotten who's gonna do the Super Bowl halftime show. Oh wait, am I not supposed to? The big game halftime show. Is that a thing? Like where they're like, you can't talk about it by name? I think that is a thing. I should probably stop talking about it, I guess. Okay. Swap to a number 2 for like the actual shoe parts, because I think those parts need to be a little more bold. And should I drop the line here? Or like right on top, I guess. Starting on this side. I'll go half and half because I'll be able to control the flow a little better. Oh, I forgot there's white in the tip of it still because I used it for white last. Whoops, my bad. Hang on, I will get the white out and then the black will start. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I had used it on the white piping bag, so there was still like a little bit of white stuck in the tip. I was like, why is the black not coming out? There we go. Cool. The cartoony thing is really starting to come together now. So we got that part. And then, come on this side, we'll do this part. My hands are still shaky, guys. Should have eaten a more substantial lunch. Or maybe not had coffee right before doing this. There we go, cool. And, okay, what's the next part? We gotta do the toe, and then back here, I said I wanted to do some lines for like, there's usually like that one stripe panel on the back, so let's do that really quickly. Try to get it where you can see it, and then also at an angle where I'm not gonna do it super crookedly. Okay, I'll do this one first, and then we'll do the one on your side. And there we go. And then come back over here. And there we go. So it looks like it has that little back panel now. And I didn't do the tongue. You're not gonna really see it too much, but I'll do that really quick just for my sake. And also we have to decide what kind of animal. I wanted to pipe a little buttercream animal in the top. What do y'all think? Any ideas in chat? I'm thinking something simple, like a rabbit or a cat, like poking its head out of the shoe. I'll just pick something if nobody has any preference. But yeah, we're going for something simple. We're not doing like a dragon or something crazy. It'll be, yeah, a really simplified, cartoony version of whatever animal we pick. Okay, coming across the top now. There's still some white streaks. Oh, I'm so sad. I didn't get all the white buttercream out. And now it's come back to haunt me. Oh well, it's fine. Let's go. Alright, you can't really tell. It's fine. No crying over spilt buttercream. Okay, I'm gonna reach over the top and do this side where you can see it a little better. We're gonna have to do bigger cakes on stream. I'm realizing the tiny stuff isn't gonna work out. You need to be able to see what's happening. And if everything's tiny and you're on mobile, it might be a little tricky. Okay, there we go. I will come across this right here. This one I'm just gonna try to let gravity do the work, and hopefully it'll look nice and straight. If I just let it fall on top of the existing line, I can't see behind the lace. Okay, and before that one falls, I'm gonna nudge it into place. Nope. No, get back on there. Oh no. Okay, there we go. And same thing coming around here. And we'll do a bottom line, I think. Yeah, we'll do a line on the bottom too. Since I didn't do the center stripe, I had wanted to do a center stripe. Here we go. Fun. The whole cartoony thing's coming together now. How exciting. I forgot about that. There's like a little spot there I had meant to cover up. You didn't see anything. Boop. It's like it was never there. Okay. Let's come around the front of the toe, and then we'll do the bottom thing, and then the laces. And we're, you know, I think we're almost done with this one. This has been fun. I haven't done a buttercream cartoon cake like this. Definitely not on this scale. Also, I was just kind of excited about the prospect of making another little shoe cake. Okay, let's see. How can I do this and not mess it up? Okay, coming around. Oh, you know what? I lied. I did do a buttercream cartoon cake. I think it's in my shorts. I did a Game Boy, like a little yellow Game Boy with a Pikachu. And I did do like the outlining thing on that one. It was a buttercream one. I forgot all about that. And BMO. I did a little BMO cake. And that was also a similar thing going on. I totally lied to you guys. I forgot about those. Okay. And piping towards you this time. This line, I'm gonna make it a little thicker since it's the bottom. So if you were drawing something like this, it would probably have more weight to it. Since that's where the shadow is. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. Same thing coming back around here. Just gonna continue in the same vein and finish off this design. Fun times. And yeah, I gotta come up with some more good like streamable ideas. Like something small like this that comes together. I could also pick up the pace a little bit on the building of the cake, I think, because like if you tune into stream, it'd be nice if you could see like most of the process, or at least like most of the fun parts. So yeah, if anybody has any ideas, sound off in chat or in the community page what you would like to see. I like doing characters. I like Nintendo video game, Studio Ghibli, I don't know, inspired stuff. Nature themes are cool. What do y'all want to see? I would be interested to know more. There we go. Smoothed it out. And coming, I'm gonna like tuck under the lace and then come back around this side. Okay, the shoelace, I should say. And then try not to bump anything in the process. It's like that, oh no, I'm going off script. It's like that game Operation where you're like trying to get in there without touching the sides and making the buzzer go off. It's like try to pipe a solid black line without touching your existing buttercream shoelace. Okay, and now seeing how that looks, I'm also going to continue this line across the front of the toe because you would still see the indication of the sole across the toe too. So we'll come in and do this top line here and then have it continue until it connects over here. And this is coming together pretty handily. I really just picked this design on a whim and, you know, no sketch or previous video tutorialer, pardon me, in mind. Just decided to wing it and see what happens. So I'm pretty pleased. What is it I've heard them say on British Bake Off? I'm chuffed. I'm pleased with it. It's pretty simple design, but it's had charming results, I would say. Also, I think I made like just enough black buttercream. I'm running a little low, but there's still plenty for these nice thin lines. I feel like that's also something you get better with practice, is estimating how much buttercream your cakes are gonna take. I can't tell you how many times I've like, oh my gosh, I have a 2-tiered cake, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I made way too much buttercream. But depending on your recipe, buttercream freezes really well. I mean, it's butter, it's full of fat, so usually if it's sealed up nicely, it'll last you. You can pull it out later. Okay, now turning this where you can actually see it. I goofed up a little bit right here. So I'm gonna smooth it out so it's not so obvious. There we go. And moving on. Ooh, sorry, that was aggressive. I'm gonna bring the line all the way across the toe and hopefully do it parallel to the bottom line. On the sides it was easy because I was just dropping it on the existing white line that was there, but now I don't have that guide. Could I go and draw it with a little stylus? Yes. Should I do that? Yeah, probably. Here, I'll just feel better if I do it. Because I could be all big talk and be like, no, I'll just freehand it. And then it'll look crummy and I'll be like, what was I thinking? Okay. Consistent height all the way across because you want it to meet up nicely. There we go. See if it helps. And here we go. Assume the position. Okay, where I can see. Do it in 2 strokes. Here we go. This is also the kind of thing where your turntable comes in handy. But like you said, or like I said earlier, my methods are a little different when trying to like play to a separate viewpoint. Because obviously, if I was decorating this normally, I'd just be all over here and you wouldn't get to see anything. Okay, so we'll do the star next, and then we'll outline our little laces, and then we'll make like a, did anybody? No, we'll make a little like buttercream cat or rabbit up here that's like popping up out of the shoe, just for funsies. I kind of just thought about that along the way and decided that that would be cute, so we're gonna do it. And okay, should I outline the circle first or draw the star first? Star first, I think, and then we'll outline the circle. So I'm going to use, I have little star-shaped cookie cutters, and I'm just going to make an indentation so I can trace over it. I think that will result in a better shape than if I try to freehand it. Okay, let's see, it's in here. Hope it's not too noisy or hard to find. Here we go, found it. Oh wait, is there a better size one? Questionable. Oh, there we go. I think this is going to be actually the perfect size. So we got this one. And I'll plop it right in the middle of the circle. And it's going to come right up to the edge. That's nice. And then we will, oh, is it too big? Questions. No, it's fine. We're just going to roll with it. We're already here. Just send it. I mean, make sure it's centered and then send it. Sweet. And it even has like a round cartoony edge, which is like what we're going for with the overall look of this. Like Steven Universe. Like his star on his shirt looks like a little curvy star. With the rounded edges instead of the pointy ones. Okay, moving back in. We'll stick with the number 2, I think. Yeah, we'll stick with the number 2 tip. And quickly draw this in. Hopefully you can see that pretty okay. This is a weird angle, so I'm hoping it's coming out okay from your point of view. Let's see how we did. Not bad. The stencil was crucial, I think. And then we're gonna fill it in and smooth it out and hope that I don't distort the little edges too much. Scribble, 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 pipe, pipe, pipe. Okay, and we'll quickly smooth that out, and then I'll do the circle around it after we do the smoothing. What tool would be best? Probably this one. Where you can see. I'm just gonna smooth it out a little bit. You probably can't tell too much, but it has like a kind of squiggly texture to it. And I want it to look at least sort of smooth. But I also don't want to mess with it too much so that I mess up the shape. Okay. Let me go in here really quickly. Because I made a little hole here, and I'll swap it back around. But it definitely fits the cartoony vibe, so that's exciting. Oops. Okay, so probably should have turned that towards me and piped it and then just swapped it back around to you because I'm looking at the star and it's looking a little goofy now, but that's all right. There we go. We're gonna swap to the thin tip, I think, and do the circle around the outside. And then we'll outline our laces and be pretty much done, besides our cute little animal guy we'll add on top. And maybe like a couple little like hash marks or something here and there to really drive home the part of it, or the point of it being like a cartoon style cake, like a graphic novel style cake. It looks kind of cool on camera. Like if I turn it just right towards you, it almost looks like a, oh neat, okay. That's all right. We can live with that. Okay, here we go, real quick. You know what would be cute for this style of cake is if, oh my gosh, I'm going crazy with this. I was trying to do it really fast and I goofed it up a little. What would be really cute for this style of cake is if the board, if you had like an edible image or printed out like a notebook pattern on it to kind of fit the theme of it all. I feel like that would be cute and kind of just, you know, add to your design. Or if you like painted directly on the board, or you can cover your cake boards in fondant and then detail them. Like I've had to do like a wood grain design on a board before, things like that. I can't see from this angle. Okay, cool. We'll do the same thing right here. Oops. Okay. Yeah, now that we're adding an outline to the shoelace, that the part of it that's on the board, it stands out a little better, because in my head when I was first piping the shoelaces out, I'm like, well, it'd be a better contrast if the board itself was like black or some other color. But now that we're outlining the shoelace, it's coming out better. So our lines are a little wobbly, a little scribbly, but that's okay because it's supposed to look like a doodle. And we're going for time here because I can't, you know, can't expect people to hang around all day to watch one little tiny cake come together. But if you do, I appreciate you. There we go. Looking kind of cool from this side now. I do think, this might be getting a little crazy, but I do think we should go back and outline the eyelets now that we did the other parts, because they look a little lacking compared to the rest of the cake. They look like they've been left out of the overall design. We don't want that, right? Oh no! And on this side, I'm going to emphasize the part of the shoelace that kind of turns around. Like it twists halfway down, so I'm kind of emphasizing that as well, because that's kind of a cool detail to highlight. And we're getting close to the finish line, guys. We are almost done with this little silly cake. Just a fun buttercream design to start the week off with. Okay, let me turn this way so you can see a little better now that I'm done with the drop part. And I made a heart for you, chat, and also just for vibes, so that'd be a silly detail. If this was like a really big cake, it would be cool to like spell out somebody's name with the shoelace or something, or like a little message. That would be cute. On this scale, I don't think that was realistic, obviously, but just thoughts for another time. I definitely like making sneaker style cakes more than the like I've done some like stilettos and high heels, but since those are like, there's not a lot to them, like shape wise, those always are just like a fondant topper. Like you can't make the actual cake, the stiletto. I mean, I guess if you made it really huge, like if you made a big wedge shoe that was like giant, then it could be cake. But the ones that I've made have just been you know, toppers for the cake. So like you make fondant and then set it in a shoe shape and have it dry, which is still cool, but I feel like the sneaker offers more opportunities to incorporate actual cake. Like if you're just joining stream, this cake was made out of like 3 little cupcake size rounds. So obviously it's also not like a huge serving of cake, but you know, it's still cake on the inside, which is fun. Ooh, should we cut it open on stream? I was talking about saving it so that we could compare it to the fondant one when we do that, but I don't know, cutting it open would be pretty satisfying after we marvel at it for a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna look at it for a while and appreciate it before I chop it open. That always cracks me up when like I deliver cakes, or if it's a cake for like a function that I'm also attending, people are like, oh, I don't want to cut it, it's too pretty. I'm like, psh, I already got pictures of it, I don't even care anymore. Not like I don't care anymore, but I'm like, you're not gonna hurt my feelings if you cut the cake, that's what it's here for. Also, in the same vein, I usually, if I'm like at the thing that the cake is for, they're like, oh, you cut it, I couldn't cut it, I just couldn't bear to do it or whatever. So that's always funny. Also, like taller cakes can be daunting to slice. But there's a trick to it. It's pretty easy. Okay, here we go. Finishing this side. That one came out a little squiggly, but it's okay. And, oops. Alrighty, so we've got this, and the only thing I'm still deciding about is like these eyelets. I didn't outline them. I'm wondering if I should do that really quickly to kind of tie it all together, or just leave it as is. Yeah, okay, we're gonna keep moving, and I think we'll skip that because like the stitching isn't gonna be outlined either, so that's fine. And then we will I'm gonna put like a little guy up here, and then we'll be done. So I think we're just gonna go for like a cat. We'll do a quick little buttercream cat and outline him, and then we'll call it quits for the night. I'm gonna like prop his little paws up on the side. I think that'll be cute. And like pipe some whiskers on him. Okay, so I need a big round tip because I'll pipe his paws just coming over the edge, and then we'll pipe his head on top, and that's it. And then we'll like outline that obviously, but he is going to be a real simple cartoony looking character. I have one round tip that I think is larger than this, and I had it right here somewhere. And of course now I don't see it. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. This is one of them anyway. I'm pretty sure I have an even larger one, but it is escaping me right now. I'm not gonna waste all your time looking for it, obviously. Here we go. Just a little pink in here, that's okay. And we're gonna do the little guy, give him a face, and then we will say goodbye for tonight. For today. For this morning, wherever you are, whatever time it is. Okay. Hands on top. Coming over the edge. Like little paws or whatever. Okay, there's one. And then here's another one coming on this side. Like that. How's it look? They look like little nubbins, which is exactly what we're going for. Okay. Alright. Quickly smooth the top of that. just slightly. And then we'll outline as we go. So we're gonna outline these, then make the head, and then outline that. Okay, so paw number 1. Are they different sizes? Maybe a little bit. Here, it's okay. We'll smooth this one out and even them up. There you go. That's better. Okay, and then let's see. Okay, we're gonna swap it around so you can see the outline part, I guess. And you know what? It's okay if he's like a fuzzy texture. He is a furry animal after all, so we're not too worried about these being perfectly smooth. Just like one. There we go. Okay, and we're gonna go with the thick outliner, or the thicker round tip, just because it's like more 3D, so it will be a less wobbly looking line, I believe, if I do it this way. And that. Come down at the base. Oh, hey, watch me mess up the whole cake at the finish line. Just kidding, it's fine. It's not that serious anyway. Okay, so we have those little paws reaching over the edge. Smoothie, 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 smoothie. And then I'm just gonna plop a big round circle on top for his head and do some little like ears and whiskers and stuff. Why a cat? I don't know. It's just always the first thing that I doodle when I doodle something. It's just usually a quick little cat. How's that look? Cool. We'll go with that. He looks like a mummy right now because of all the like lines in the frosting. Yeah, sometimes I'll eat them, and then sometimes I'll gift them to somebody. I make a lot of cake, so I don't eat them a whole lot because I'm around cake all the time, so I'm not usually craving it, but you know, sometimes I'll give it to like a neighbor or a friend or something, or have them go to work. Somebody in the office will eat them. Okay, smooth it out, and then we'll add little facial features, and that'll be cute. This one in particular, I probably won't gift it to anybody, because if you were here at the beginning of the stream, I mentioned that the cakes that I use for this are kind of funky flavors. I was testing out some new buttercreams. New food coloring options. So I did one of the little layers in here has like turmeric in it, one has tangerine juice powder. That one actually tastes pretty good. And then the other one I think had beets, which I wouldn't mind, but I wouldn't just like hand that off to somebody unknowingly and be like, yes, enjoy this totally normal cake that isn't a funky flavor. They'd probably be like, that cake you gave me was interesting. And then they'd probably never want a free cake from me again. I mean, like, beets are fine, and I know people use them often to sweeten things, but they definitely have an earthy flavor. So like if you're not expecting it, it might not be the most pleasant surprise. Okay, so there's our little kitty. I'm going to do his ears. Like that. And one like this. I made it kind of tall. It's almost like a rabbit. There you go. No, they usually get eaten. I have, you know, other family members who will eat it and stuff. Just these in particular, you know, since it's beet flavors, I'll probably eat it for dessert or something, but I wouldn't just like give it to anybody unknowingly. I have some neighbors down the street and they have a couple kids, so I'll give them little baby cakes like this sometime. I did like a short a little while ago that had like a Pac-Man style cake, and they liked that one, especially because part of it had like a Rice Krispie in it for the structure, so they were excited about that. But yeah, just I don't always eat them, but they do get eaten, so here we go. Smooth out the front. A little bit more. I did like a Finn and Jake made out buttercream recently, kind of in this style, and this is giving me flashbacks to making Finn's little head with the ears. Ooh, this one's a little crooked. Let's fix that. Now that I'm looking at it straight on. I'm like, from the back it looks great, and then I turn around to what you guys can see and I'm like, oh my goodness, what's happening? Okay, we got that. Then we'll outline the head, give them a little expression, and then I think this cake is pretty much done. This little itty bitty tiny cake. Let's see. Wow, I hope that prediction comes true. That would be fun. That would be very exciting. That would be nice. I just gotta keep it up till then and keep, you know, keep making little cakes for people and hoping that people like the designs and stuff, and hoping that people, you know, start chiming in and let me know what they want to see. I was talking earlier on chat, trying to pick people's brains, like what themes would you like to see for different like characters, different movies, video games, ones that could be translated into a cake pretty well. So I'm hoping that'll be part of it too. Like I'll get more feedback from viewers that are interested. That would be really cool. Cause like I'll come up with an idea and I'll get excited about it, but it's more excited if there's more people looking forward to it too. Okay, so I outlined the bottom of his chin. It looks a little silly, but that's okay. I'm gonna go around the outside of his head now. So like this. Oops. Here we go. Down here, it looks like a llama from the back, like a little llama head, just because it looks taller in the back than in the front, which is silly. And let me see, I need to see where this cheek is. I'm doing it from a weird perspective sometimes, so that is a bit of a challenge. But it's a challenge I hope to get better at. In particular, hopefully by 2027, if people are watching, hopefully I'm better at that part too. I'm almost like, should I give him paws on the back so he's like a two-sided cake? Maybe. Oh yeah, maybe the play was to do the cat first and then the paws. Maybe I goofed up by doing it the other way around. That's okay. Hey, we're learning. I've mentioned that a couple times in other videos, but this channel, like when I'm not making a cake for somebody specific, it's just for me to practice new techniques and try to keep getting better at what I do. I don't know, make some new stuff up. Okay, so he's gonna look funny from the side because he's got like two sets of arms, but I figured this way if he has paws on this side, it doesn't matter which side of the cake you're looking at, he can be looking neat from both sides. That was like I did a Duolingo cake a little while ago, and on one side I made, I think that's on the channel too, I made one side happy Duolingo, and then you turned it around on the back and it was like angry Duolingo owl. If you don't know, it's like an app, and then there's like a mascot, and it's a little owl, and sometimes he gets mad at you if you don't use the app in practice. Okay, so that's why I had done two sides of the personality. I hope so too. I feel the same way about like some of the channels. I like different creator channels, in particular like some crafting channels. I'm like, wow, it's crazy. Like I would love for this person to blow up and reach more people with what they're making. I don't know, because I know it's a joke that one person always says everyone's so creative, but everybody is so creative, and it's cool when they choose to share that creativity with other people. So there's definitely several channels that I feel very passionately about as well, and hope that they take off. Like different crafting and cake and drawing channels. I think that would be really nice. And they say the trick to it, like people who have found success on a platform like this, they kind of just say like, hey, you just gotta keep doing it. And eventually something that you do will stick or reach the right people. And if you're lucky, if you're doing something that you love, hopefully that's not too hard to keep up with, you know? Not that it's not a lot of work sometimes, but the whole, you know, cliche of like, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life kind of thing. Okay, I did this first side as a little tester, so we can roll him around and you can see what he looks like. It'll be like a surprise. Okay, I think this will be a fun medium on the next design. If I do another one of these types for a live stream, I definitely think we need to do something bigger so that you can see it better on that side. I think that would help a lot and improve things quite a bit. So I'm going to keep that in mind, because I'm realizing that it is pretty different filming something like this like during the process versus like the long form videos I've done where I can go back and edit things. You kind of, it's almost a different approach you have to have towards things. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's not coming out. What's happening? Oh, I'm just not squeezing hard enough is what. Here we go. Oh, I should have done a tail. That would have been better. Rats. You're right. I was like, well, if I flip it one way or the other. Man, that's a great idea. A tail would have been great. Oh, well, I was talking about doing this cake again, but doing it in fondant. So if we do fondant, that's definitely what I'm going to do for sure. Fluffy cattail with little stripes. That would have been so cute. Oops. Yeah, this pink frosting, I haven't picked it up in a little bit, so it's gotten like a little colder. So it's like the texture has seized up a little bit compared to what it was before when I first started. So that wasn't ideal for his little ears, but I'm just gonna take them off. I was like gonna add little peak centers. But it got a little goofy. That's okay. Ah, a tail would have been so cute. Okay, here's this side. There's the kitty on that side. And then we'll do the back side too. And he's a little funny two-faced kitty, I guess. Man, why didn't I think of a tail? That's a great idea. I guess I could have just left it without a cap, but I thought, why not add a fun little character? Okay. And this one, I'm gonna make it have a sleepy face instead of like a little smiley face. It's gonna be a sleepy kitty. Or maybe like a happy kitty, like with little smiley eyes. Oops. Okay, so I definitely rushed through the kitty cat part. We could have just left it at the shoe, but I thought it would be fun to add them. And it is fun. They could be a little more polished, but if you look at them straight on, they look cute. If you look at them from an angle, they're a little silly looking. That's okay though. We love them anyway. Okay. Let's put it on the turntable for final looks. But this is our little Converse cake, okay? We spent several hours putting this together. I really didn't know when we were getting started how long this would take. So this was a good experiment. Okay, we've got cute little smiley kitty on this side. And we have little sleepy kitty on the side. Just a very silly, goofy cake to put together, but I don't know, this was fun. I had a good time. Thanks for everybody who chimed in. This was like fun chit-chatting and just hanging out while doing cake stuff. Hopefully now that I'm getting into streaming and I'm getting my setup figured out, I'd like to stream more regularly. So like check back on the channel page if you'd be interested in seeing when there will be scheduled live streams, or like turn on notifications, and I can always do the like scheduled ones, I guess, so that until I get like a regular schedule going up, people will know where to look and when to find me. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. This has been Cakes by You. Subscribe if you liked what we did here today. And otherwise, have a great week, have a great night or morning, depending on what time it is where you're at. And thanks for hanging around. Should we cut it or should we just leave it? Do y'all want to see me cut it? I could like cut it right down the middle and do the reveal. Do I have a big enough knife here is the question. Here, let's slice it. That would be fun. We'll slice it open. And I can always mash it back together again. Okay, we're gonna slice it. You ready? I even got an extra little thingy here if I need it. Okay, ready? Okay, we'll see this kitty and then we'll see this kitty in case they're both about to get smushed, which they definitely are gonna get smushed. This frosting is not firm enough to slice it without messing them up a little bit. We're gonna do a nice cross section, I think. Also, cross section always turns out better when the cake is chilled, but we're here, we're doing this now. Okay, ready? Let's see if we can get it in one smooth swipe. I don't think this knife is long enough, but let's go. Okay, ready? On 3, chat. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, poor kitty cat. And we're slicing and we're slicing. And hold on. I'm gonna get my spatula and we can see that cross section. Poor sad squishy kitties. This one looks extra squished. He looks really sleepy now. Okay. Here, let's just scoop this up. I don't know, that's always the fun part of cake videos is when they cut into it, right? And they'll live on forever in our video on demand. Okay, ready for the reveal. 3, 2, 1. Yay, cake! Ooh, that looks kind of fun inside, actually. Cool. We lost a little chunk at the bottom, but fun. This cat is still mostly intact. That one got a little off the top, but that's okay. Thanks so much for hanging out, guys. This was really fun. Yeah, we'll have to do this again soon. I might, now that I've tried it a couple times and it's a little less scary, I might do lives more often. We will see. That would be really fun. All right. Till next time. Bye. Thanks for watching. Have a good day or night or week or whatever.